What's up, everybody? Let me move it so you can see what I'm looking at here, the good old crypto bubbles. And who else is fired up for tonight's live stream? I know I am. I need to put my phone on silent mode. Didn't really make sure that I was in the right place. Let's see, mic check, 1, 2. All right, seems like the mic is working well. It's been a while since we've had any trouble with the microphone. That's actually really nice, because for a minute there, we were having all kinds of technical problems. All right, so we're looking at crypto bubbles. We are continuing our deep dive on Anoma, ticker XAN, and I'm excited about it. Yesterday was a lot of fun. Now, a little bit of a scheduling misnomer there. Crypto Lifer was doing the monthly candle close, which obviously comes on the last day of the month. I need to pay attention to that. Viewership was down a little bit, but overall was still such a good stream, and a lot of people watched it after the fact, which was really cool. All right, I'm still in OBS. Let's get to where we need to be. And this is the Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. For anybody who's new or watching later, there is a link to my Discord in the description. So come over there and join the conversation with us. I've been loving how much activity is going on in that Discord. It's still a new Discord, as this is even a new live stream show that we've been doing. I think I looked today. I think it was like a month and 2 weeks or something like that. So either way, or maybe it's just a month, actually. I think it's just a month. But either way, very excited. Loving doing the live stream shows. Loving everybody who's been so supportive. Blues Guy, Crypto Maniac is here all the time. Watchman, another person. Reliable J, Lindsay Lenz, Miss Williams. I mean, so many to mention. If you would have asked me, 2 weeks ago, if I thought this quickly, I would be able to name people that supported me in this show and consistently came to the show. I don't think I would have said that that would have happened that fast. So I am beyond blessed. And yeah, I'm just loving it. So let's hop in. On the daily, things looking green. Bitcoin catching a nice pump today. And what's it doing right this second? Sorry, I don't want to switch it all over in OBS so you can see the chart. But yeah, looks like we're still up. We're sitting at 18,228. That's a good look. That's good for the rest of the market. And let's see, we got Zcash. Now, who would have, who had on their bingo card, crypto bingo card, that Zcash was just going to pump? I mean, Zcash is an old one. Let's see. On the yearly, it's up 352%. Wild. I did not have that on my crypto bingo card. Anybody else? See some people starting to trickle in. Of course, we're going over Anoma. We're going to be deep diving that, but we have to do our due diligence, right? And I got a feeling it's going to be a longer stream tonight, and I'm okay with that because we got a lot to go over. And of course, if you guys are coming here and you want the breakdowns and you want the real sauce, I got to deliver. So, might be a 3-hour stream tonight, so buckle up. I hope you guys are ready. Now, let's hop over to our normal kind of breakdown. We just talk about the numbers. Now, what would be the point of every day at the beginning of the stream looking at crypto bubbles and also kind of just running, some of the top coins in the game and their price? What would be the point of that? The green has me feeling good. Exactly, Crypto Maniac. And on the days we pull it up and it's red, it has you maybe not feeling so good. But honestly, to me, everything's good all the time, right? Because when we're pumping, our bags are pumping. We're up. When we're red and it's pulling back, opportunities for, capital that you might have on the side is good entry points. I mean, as long as you're in a bull market, right? When you're in a bear market, that's different. We'll flip it. If you're a trader, if you're a lifer, we're going to short the whole bear market all the way down. The same way that we took longs and lifers in a long bias, I'm sure he'll be, and I'm not speaking for him in any way, shape, or form, but this is just from my watching, because I was with him even in the bear market. He'll have that same vibe, but it'll be to the downside, and we'll be nailing shorts all the time. It is such a beautiful thing. It doesn't really matter what the market is doing. But enough of that. It's not a TA channel. The whole point of going over this is just so we have kind of locked in daily where we're at. Why does this say Bitcoin is at 119,000. Let me refresh this. I just looked at it and we were at 118,228. That has a significantly higher. Very interesting. I guess I got to go to the 1 minute, huh? No, we're all the way up near that 1900 mark. Very interesting. I think the trade that I was in, let's see, I'm holding since we went to that bottom. So yeah, I'm way down here. I got in at like 108 and a half, 109. So we're riding this puppy to the upside, but that's okay. You guys don't want to hear about that. Let's move on, right? So we have, looks like a new person in the house, the Don Weldon. Says, hey, y'all, hope everyone is doing good. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming in. I love to see new names in the chat. We're just kicking off this deep dive, and it's really a continuation from yesterday. So you really haven't missed anything. I'm glad that you're here with us. Bitcoin, 118,948. Ethereum, 4,359. We held that $4,000 mark for Ethereum so far. XRP getting to that $2.95, $2.95, so close to that $3 mark that I love to see us get above. BNB has been absolutely crushing it. As I always say, I should have kept all that BNB that I was using for so long in that ecosystem. I would be up big. 1,029. Solana, 221, above that $200 mark, having a nice pickup. Let's see, what's it up in the 7 days? Or 24 hours, it's up 6.1%. So yeah, I thought I heard some people saying Solana was getting bullish, that it was having a nice pump. I love to see Bitcoin running. It's one of the ones I hold from the last bull market, 24.94, which is almost 25 cents, right? Cardano, 85, pushing back towards that dollar mark that everybody thought we were going to get above and hold before we had the big dip. Chainlink, $22.60. Avalanche, $30.72. Hyperliquid, $47.25. Sui, $3.53. If you like that I go over this every day, because when we do this every day, it tells a story. Let's put it that way. It tells a story, and it compounds day after day. Same way that looking at a chart does. It's like if we looked at a daily chart, right? We're getting the number every day. Dang, BTC just hit 119,000 exactly, and it's back there. And I bought the bottom of that dip, and I just left that trade open. So I'm happy about where we're going. I think we're going. I'm not anybody you should listen to when it comes to technical analysis, but I think we'll probably go up to 125. I think there's some liquidity on Bookmap up to 123. But that's not what this show is about, right? So speaking of trending coins and staying on top of what's trending, because this is a deep dive research show, right? We've got some new coins. I mean, for the last week or so, it was like going over a lot of the same coins. We weren't seeing a lot of new stuff. It's a must to go over. Yeah, I think so too, Crypto Maniac. So we have this ADX, and if you're in my Discord, it's not a paid Discord. It's a free Discord. We're just getting it up off the ground. So I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to join and maybe get some sauce. I put this thing out, both ADX and Corn. We've gone over a tone. But ADX and Corn, we were putting them on your radar this morning when I saw they were trending. And we were here last night. So there's not a lot of time between last night when we ended the stream, right, at like 10 o'clock to the morning when I put it out. It was probably about 10 a.m. So it was like maybe 12 hours. Anyways, this is ADX, right? $38.3 million in its market cap. And what is it? That is the question. Here's your pump from 2 cents, a high 2 cents, to 4 cents, a little double up. Exactly, a high 4 cents. I mean, it's literally like a double up. Then, of course, it had a pullback, and we are where we are right now. So it's a Solana contract, but what is it? It is a categories decentralized exchange. So derivatives and perpetuals. This is a narrative that has been hot. And if you were in the Discord, we had a little bit of a discussion about it, and also other people continued to have a discussion. It's the beautiful thing about being part of a community and being in a Discord. About, do we think that this narrative is over? Is it going to continue but kind of be side burner to another narrative that's really going to be in charge? Or is this thing going to take off again and be the big narrative that's really taking charge? how much room in the market is there for like 20 decentralized exchange coins to all do well? Probably not. Some of them are going to be losers. Some of them are going to lose favor. New ones might have pumps and you run into them and then they never really do anything else. We don't know. And constantly new ones coming out. So we got to do our due diligence and bring this up. Now, the artwork for a decentralized exchange, kind of crazy. All right. I think you guys will all agree with me. The artwork here is a little nuts. But Adrena, so like adrenaline, I'm assuming is what we're going at. I mean, you're talking about trade at the speed of light to 100x leverage. And one thing that's really hard is how do you really decide which one of these decentralized exchanges is the best? How do you decide which one is better than another one? So it's all kind of techie back-end stuff that would actually make one better than another. And just looking at the interface and stuff, you're not going to exactly know which one is faster than the other one. This one is touting that it is much faster. Now, Solana, of course, did have a really big update, and I think it was 100 times faster than it was before the update. So if this thing is built on Solana, it probably is super fast. Is Solana the fastest blockchain out there right now? I don't exactly know if that's true, but with that update, they should be pretty fast. Now, one thing, they're going to need to up. Now, of course, they just came out, but keep in mind, they just came out. This is Solana, BTC, and Bonk is all you can trade on here right now. So you can trade 100x, but only if you want to trade those coins. And I think they'll probably roll more stuff out, right? All right. Let's cash that out. One thing I did notice is that their logo here looks very similar to Avalanche. Anybody else feeling like their logo looks super similar to Avalanche? And it's up 30% in the last 24 hours. Max chart, which we were already at. Wait a second. All right. Looks like I'm going to have to apologize to everybody. This is not a new token. I must have got ahead of myself. It happens. We're all human. But I'm just really glad that we caught this so that we can correct it. September 25th, 2024. So this thing has been out for a while. I don't know why it's trending all of a sudden. So it's not a new coin. I do apologize about that. I must have not realized that I was on a smaller chart. That sucks. I hate when I make mistakes like that. But at the end of the day, the truth is that we are all going to make mistakes sometimes. It's just important that we acknowledge it, right? We are deep diving. There will be mistakes. So Corn was another one that I saw. Let me make sure that this is actually a new coin. Max chart. Okay. Came out the 27th. So it's still pretty new. I didn't exactly say it came out today. Surprised nobody in the chat caught that that wasn't a brand new coin. You guys are usually so all over it. Market cap, $60.5 million in its market cap. This is Corn. I don't believe it's a derivative or a decentralized exchange, perpetuals derivative. It does have an infinite max supply. So we don't really need to talk about the circulating supply. Let's see what categories it gives it. Infrastructure, smart contract platform, and a layer 2. So it's a layer 2, and it has its own contract address, an Ethereum contract address, Solana contract address. So that tells you what you need to know there. So the 27th, this thing has been around for what? A couple of days? Let's go to their Twitter and see what kind of traction they have. 119.6 thousand followers. Very interesting. But what is it, right? We need to go to their website if we really want to know what it is. I did put a screenshot of it in the description, but that was really as far as I got into it, as I was just trying to rush out the door and make it to the gym when I saw this. So making crypto fun. Click here to buy it. It looks like a video game, which is pretty dope. I love artwork when it comes to meme coins and just good quality artwork when it comes to crypto more than anything. Doesn't have to be a meme coin. It says ecosystem. You know I'm all about those ecosystems. Gonna get some agua on deck here. So what is Corn? That is a great question. Corn is a Bitcoin-powered DeFi network built on Ethereum. Okay. Now, see, I didn't make that connection. It wasn't in our categories. But as we talk about narratives, this is good crypto IQ stuff. We're talking about narratives. We're talking about how maybe Decentralized exchanges might be going on the second burner to other stuff. I'm not saying Bitcoin DeFi is going to take charge, but it could, because we're noticing a lot of the trending projects for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks. A lot of them have been Bitcoin DeFi projects. New, I think a Hemi, BTC Portal, or Bitcoin Portal, I think it's called, or Bit Portal, BitLayer, I think was another one. There's a bunch of them, and Hemi has a whole ecosystem. So are we going to see Bitcoin DeFi run? Now, my experience with Bitcoin DeFi as a narrative is that it looks like it's going to do something, and then it gets a little pop, but not really much, and then we move on to other things. All right. So let's go ahead and go to how the network works, how the token works, actually. So BTCN, hybrid tokenized Bitcoin gas for transaction fees. Corn, the main reward plus yield governance token. So that's what Corn is. Then you have Popcorn, which is, looks like it's going to be the stable coin, 1-to-1. Popcorn rewards vest Pop, right? Claim on Merkle triggers a 21-week vesting schedule. So Merkle, okay, not Merlin though, because Merlin is another little Bitcoin chain that most people don't even know about. And who's here who hasn't dropped a chat? Let me know if you are watching tonight. I know Blues Guy is here, but he's on the road, so he gets a pass for sure. He has been so active in the chat. You know, he needs a night of rest where he can just listen. Connect your wallet, bridge, and earn, explore strategies and apps. So this looks like a really cool project. Now, we could go pretty deep into this, but it's not really what today is all about. So we will probably pull it up. You know, we watch things multiple times over the week. So airdrops. Corn is your stake in BTC Fi. Soon earning passive Bitcoin fees and yield across Corn network. The claim period has ended. Unclaimed airdrops have been returned to the network. Well, that's kind of disappointing. Rel's in the house. Thank you for being here. Always love to see you in the chat. So Corn tokenomics, we don't really need to worry about that right this second. So as far as an airdrop, looks like it's ended. Right? Corn is your stake in BTC. I just want to make sure I read this right. Soon earning passive BTC fees and yields across the Corn network. The claim period has ended. So not only has the airdrop ended, but so is the claiming period. Unclaimed airdrops have been returned to the network. So if you didn't do the airdrop by now, you lost it. Crypto Maniac says, I'm listening while I get my daughters ready for bed. Absolutely understand. I have some children as well. I know how that goes, brother. So no worries. And, you know, at the end of the day, nobody owes me anything. I appreciate everybody being here. I love what I do, and I love the community that's starting to really compound and build around this channel. It's been amazing. And, yeah, just want everybody to know I greatly appreciate you guys. So this Open VPP, or OVPP, I don't remember what this was. Oh, this was like that energy coin, wasn't it? Yeah, DPen, made in America. Not my favorite narrative in crypto. And one that I don't see retail ever really caring about, except for maybe some extreme environmental people maybe who believe this is going to do something. The Internet of Energy, right? You've heard of the Internet of Money. This is the Internet of Energy. So the first decentralized payment and tokenization layer for the 10 trillion global electric utility industry. Okay, that's a little bit different. I was going more with the... and they go hand in hand, really. I was going with like the carbon credits and stuff like that. So this actually might be different than the project I was thinking about. All right, let's see. The Dawn. That's what I'm going to call you. The Dawn, if you don't mind. Got a possible little gem. It's bio. I like the use case. Check it out when you have some time. Decentralized sign RWA. Yeah, you're on the point. The Dawn. Or I'll just call you Dawn. That makes more sense. We went over... bio and have gone over it several times. We went over it, I think, first 3 weeks ago. It was right when I started streaming. So yeah, that one's been out for a minute, and we have definitely been all over it. So I appreciate you saying that. I don't give out calls to buy, you know, like maybe a TA channel might do. We talk about what it is, we talk about narratives, and you got to make your own decisions, you know? I really feel like it's important for people to make their own decisions and be accountable for their own decisions and not be able to get out of it by just pointing at somebody and saying, this guy on YouTube, he told me to buy it. He said it was good. You know, I highly encourage that you don't live your life that way. All right, Plasma. We've been over Plasma a million times. I don't want to hit every single coin here, just the new ones. And then we will run to Crypto Rank real quick. Kind of doing the same thing. They sometimes have some different stuff. So first off, Crypto Rank, Fear and Greed Index 49. All right, I'm up to date on the chats here. So 49, we're in the neutral zone, but almost into that greed. Now, if you don't know about the Fear and Greed Index, it is an amazing tool to kind of catch the momentum in the market. Are you kind of in the middle? Are you more bullish? Are you more bearish? A lot of people like to begin to, you know, believe we're bottoming out or begin to start purchasing some things that might be, you know, really in the red, quote unquote, on sale when we're in the fear. And then a lot of times they do the opposite. When we're really high in the greed, it can be a good time to say we're at a top. We're really just looking for new projects. Anoma, that is the coin of the day. Do we see anything new? Lighter, for anybody who's new here, Lighter, I've put 2 videos out. We're trying to stay so on top of this project. I think it's going to be big once it finally comes out, but it's in a, you know, private, what do we want to call it? A private beta. Yeah, that's what it is. So the only thing that's different here are these 2 projects, 00 and Re.Pay. T is for developers, not really worth going over. Don said, the Don says word. 00. All right, so what is this? It says blockchain, sorry. It says blockchain infrastructure. We were talking about Bitcoin DeFi, so I just wanted to call it Bitcoin infrastructure, but it's not, just blockchain infrastructure. We got some founders here. We have an ICO that raised no money. That's what it says. That doesn't sound good. It went from the 15th to the 22nd, and they raised no money. I'm so confused. Did they really raise no money, or is this just like they don't have the information maybe? So they did have a private token sale with these investors, Dragonfly and Multicoin Capital, and they raised $28 million. And let's read right here where it says, what is 00? Blues Guy in the house says, hey everyone, great to see you all. It's always great to see you, Blues Guy. So 00 is a global fiber network for high performance distributed systems and blockchains. Sounds technical. The protocol enables permissionless contributions of independent fiber links to create dynamic and expansive, low-level, high-performance global networks. This decentralized, blurring my words there, network infrastructure layer enables systems like Layer 1 and Layer 2 blockchains to be freed from communication bottlenecks and approach the maximum performance. Again, that was pretty techy. But when you're dealing with blockchain and blockchain technology, and it's like the cutting edge of those industries, it's going to get a little techie sometimes. So hold in there. A lot of it is just words that you just need to know definitions to, right? The High Performance Global Network, a network of dedicated high-performance links engineered to bring low-latency networks to everyone, everywhere. Interesting. Give your validator an edge. Here's a little kind of diagram of what 00 does. And I think that's all we really need to know about this. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this. There will be plenty of time for us to go over these. If they remain relevant, if they fade off into the background and nobody ever really cares, then we'll be glad we didn't waste too much time on it. Hey, everybody, doing fantastic. Glad to hear that. For sure. All right. Cool. So, Re.Pay. This looks like some kind of payment rail. Re.Pay is developing digital asset payment infrastructure using blockchain and cryptocurrencies. I mean, that is really all we need to know about it. Did it even have a market cap? It didn't have a market cap funding round, so this and that other project seem like they're not really out yet. And this is $87 million that they have raised so far, so not a small amount of money. Where crypto meets real life. So where crypto meets real life, it's a payment rail. You know, it's just like PayPal or something like that. Once we've kind of nailed down what something is, we're not going to spend a ton of time. It's a narrative, you know, niche, categorizing the different crypto coins so you can recognize them, whether it's off their logo or their name or their ticker or all three of those combined. To me, that's raising your crypto IQ. So Dean Thanasos, I don't know why I felt like I had to try to pronounce that. Alts are going to zero compared to Bitcoin. You mean like they already did that, or they're going to? Because I think some people would argue that they've pretty much kind of already done that. They haven't gone to zero, obviously, but you know, Bitcoin is run and altcoins have not really gotten the pump. We have not seen much of an altcoin season, which is unfortunate. All right, so let's get over and let's talk about what we're here for, right? And that is Anoma. Now, we did a whole show yesterday on Anoma, so I do greatly apologize if you missed it. We covered what it was, and then we started digging into its ecosystem, and we're going to continue to talk about what it is, you know, but we will very much be looking at a lot of the ecosystem type stuff. And remember, like, this chart, it hasn't been out very long, so number one, and I'm not trying to like make excuses for it or anything. I own literally $40 worth of this coin. I'm not trying to pump this thing. I could honestly, I wouldn't say I care less because I want to see crypto do good overall, but so I'd like to see it run, but not for my $40, but for the overall of crypto, right? September 29th, 2025 is when this thing came out. It was 2 days ago. Hasn't really done much in price action, had a nice pump, and then it pulled way down, and we've pretty much just been staying at that level. $285 million in market cap, 10 billion tokens in the max supply, 2.5 in circulating supply. So with that, what does that mean? Not a whole lot until we know when these coins are coming out. And with a new project, a lot of times they don't put more coins out, or very little in the very beginning. So Blues Guy says alts come when Russell 2000 reaches all-time high. It was a great show last night, people. Yeah, it absolutely was. It was so much fun. And it was a little bit of low turnout because of the whole lifer thing, but it was still such a good time. I loved that it still had a great vibe, and we had a great time. There was a lot of chat going on. So Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain. See how their Twitter's looking, see if they said anything exciting today or anything that would be newsworthy for this project. 218,000 followers. XAN is live. Okay. That was 29. So we've looked at this video. This is not new news. This is pinned post. Has 152,000 impressions. I want to see more of what they've been saying. So 7 hours ago. I feel like we read this yesterday. So as far as I understand, they're still in testnet. Now, there is an airdrop associated with that for anybody who, you know, is excited about airdrops and wants to try to get airdrops. There's Watchman liking some stuff. Appreciate that. And I don't see Watchman in the chat. Watchman, if you're here, drop something in the chat. He might be driving around or something. I know a lot of times he is. And let's go to the website, right? Now, I'm not going to reread the website all over again. I feel like we've just done that so many times at this point. Maybe tomorrow, if we go over it again, then we'll do that. And we might, because there's a lot here. So one thing that I thought was really interesting is you can go to the portal. I'm already connected with my, you know, it's real Web3. Got my MetaMask wallet connected here. And there's not a whole lot going on. Now, there are some airdrop opportunities, and to get airdrops, you pretty much just have to be active Got to do stuff, right? So we found one project. We tried to play a game that was built on Anoma, that was built by like a mathematician, and it was, it'd make your head hurt a little bit trying to figure that out. So Maniac, he says, what's up? Everybody getting along. That's good. See how long we can keep that up. All right, so this is kind of their dashboard, and there's not a lot going on here except for, I guess you can see what kind of airdrops maybe you've earned. And I don't know when they kick the airdrops out. Is it quarterly or is it every day? I don't know. Okay, they moved it on me. It's down here. Ecosystem. So one thing was learn. So we were going over this. We read to about here. I think we read this. Yeah, this is the last thing we read. No, we actually read this as well. So we will continue from what are intents. Let's duplicate this out. Just want to do this some justice, do it right. For anybody who's new here, I'm just going to read this right here. Anoma is a distributed operating system for intent-centric applications. What does that mean? We've been deep diving that part. It unifies underlying blockchains into a single development environment, ending the fragmentation of state and users that limit today's decentralized applications. So that is the ethos or the kind of problem that they're trying to solve. Now let's go to the ecosystem. Now we have pulled up as all, and I'm really hoping that they don't change on me. Oh, they did. Well, that's not fun. I was hoping they would keep all of these in the same place so that we could keep a little bit better track of what we've been over. This is why I was writing down, even though it was a little tedious, this is why I wrote down everything that we went over, because it'll maybe keep me from going over the same things. Because there's like 50 projects here. And we talked, let's see, I think we went over 8 of them yesterday. So hopefully we can actually finish this, right? Maybe at some point we'll have to skim through a little quicker, right? So this is Upnode. Definitely write that down. And a lot of times I'm just writing this down in case, there's anything interesting I need to refer back to. Obviously, it was very useful since they moved it all up. But, what in the world just happened? What was that? I feel like they did that on purpose, but maybe it wasn't on purpose. So Upnode. Maybe this is just to represent the project, and it's not actually supposed to really take you anywhere. Or maybe it's a broken link. Well, that's not fun to start off with, but oh well. Totally forgot what I was saying. Electric Coin Company. What does that mean? So building a full stack user experience for Zcash so you can be free. So this has to do with Zcash. Zcash has been pumping. Now, are all these projects going to get coins and start being traded? I don't know. So this is full stack for Zcash. Highly encourage everybody to take notes. There's no way you're going to remember all this stuff. Now, that might seem a little tedious, and you might be like, I'm not in high school or college. I'm not taking notes. That's your own decision, for sure. So, Blues Guy says, yes, it was a bit of a headache trying to figure out the drops in that game. And I'll bring that game back up probably at some point. Maybe towards the end of the stream if anybody wants to see that. A new system outside and adjacent to the old system. And why would we play that game? Honestly, just to try to get some airdrops, right? For being active. So you have Zashi Wallet Mobile, an ECC roadmap, and a Zcash protocol. I mean, is Zcash coming back to life? I mean, hasn't Zcash been around for a really long time and done a whole lot of nothing for a very long time? Is it just like really good tech or something, so they want to keep, using it? I don't really get that part. So our mission is to empower economic freedom. Financial privacy is core to this endeavor and essential to protect human dignity, security, self-sovereignty, and consent. So obtaining financial privacy should be easy. Easy as closing the curtains in your home. It's a weird analogy, but okay. Oh, because it's privacy. Never mind. But with the emergency of Web 2, power is deeply centralized, and those with control are already in your living room. Sketchy. You can't close the curtains. We must build something new. I actually like the way that was written. Okay. Good image, when it comes to privacy. This new system of financial tools accessibility to everybody will be user-friendly, fully private, with options for disclosure, and its supported infrastructure will be distributed and robust. So it's built for Zcash. Interesting. And Anoma really seems like it's got a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of, it's supposed to be the intent network where it kind of connects all the different blockchains to make it somewhat simple, right? We have Near. I don't really need to go to Near. You should know what Near is, right? Very AI orientated nowadays. So we have Plaza Capital. Write that down. And let's see what it's about. Oh, yeah, we can 5-hour stream. We might have to actually finish this. I'm not saying the 5-hour stream will be tonight, but we might have to do like an extra hour each night so that we can finish this. I'm committed to getting through all of these. And again, I'm here regardless. I would be doing this if I wasn't live streaming it on YouTube. There we go, fixed it. Investing in early ventures powering the crypto universe. This is Plaza. And that's it. That's all they have. We got a team page. And with something like this, they don't need a big website. They're investors, right? Or liquidity providers, you could say. Call them an investment fund. And think about the compounding effects of deep diving this type of stuff every day. Because what's going to happen when we're done with this project? Well, we might talk about a subject or something. We've done modular blockchains, layer 1s, layer 0s, layer 2s. We've done avalanche ecosystems. So we do ecosystems, we do narratives, we raise that crypto IQ. That is really what we are all about here at Underground Crypto. And my point was, what is the compounding effect of that? When you've been doing that for 6 months and you look back at how much you understood crypto before you started coming to the show, I think you're going to be amazed at how much stuff you know. We'll talk about, DAG protocols and atomic swap versus bridges, modular blockchains, and you're going to really feel like you've got a hold of it. So we are a modern institution for a novel technology. We leverage humans and financial capital to help bring the ownership economy to the masses. Institution of novel technology. So they just provide capital, right? That's what I'm getting out of this. They have a blog. So also liquidity. Who feels like they've been coming to the stream for a few days, at least, if not more, a lot of you guys more, and feels like you really understand the lingo and what's being said to you when it comes to crypto, websites that we read, maybe stuff you hear in the news? Alt layer. I mean, we can imagine what this is. It is the layer for alt. So restake, roll-ups, and verifiable agents. Gotta look at my list, make sure we didn't do this one already. I don't think we did. So accelerate scaling for Web3 with verifiable AI as service. So alt layer is a decentralized protocol that facilitates the launch of native and restake rollups with both optimistic and ZK rollup stacks. So this is all about verification. If you don't know, talking about crypto IQ, if you don't know what optimistic, I want to say optimism like the actual project, but no, optimistic and ZK rollups. What are they? Well, there are methods of verification. Optimistic was kind of first, right? And ZK rollups is kind of like the next iteration slash kind of different, right? So you can use both of them in tandem. You can choose one or the other. Projects do what they want to do when it comes to that. Trying to think exactly something simple I can write down here so I'll know what this is. I guess we'll just put ZK rollups. And we're really finding which project, like, it seems like to me that a lot of these that are on here are just like a visual representation of things that are in the ecosystem. They may have a purpose, but they're not like a fully built out independent project that needs its own website and needs all of these different things. That's what it feels like to me. Which is cool, because going through this, we will know what the more legitimate projects are to pay attention to. And what projects are just, you know, providing capital, investors, that kind of thing. So this is called Paper, the shortcut to cutting edge. Interesting. Paper is a software engineering company founded on high-tech talent. Take their word for it. We know the way from concept development to software market fit. Impact products, impact futures. Founded as a software service provider, Paper has evolved through experience to support the entire life cycle of an innovative product in Web3. Talent to develop it, and company to sell it, and the team to support it. Together, we'll build a secure future for ourselves and the internet at large. Air gap. Yeah, I was just seeing if there's anything else interesting here. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. At least they have a little bit of a website, right? So, software company. And I probably don't need to write every single one of these down, but I will. I feel like that's maybe doing my due diligence there a little bit. Chat's been a little slow tonight. Everybody good out there? What day is today? Oh, my watch is dead. Nice. It's just here for show, right? Doesn't even work. It's Thursday, right? Or is it Wednesday? I really don't even know what day it is. I'll be in here grinding so much. All right, it's Wednesday. This fan above me is killing me. All right, cool. So we know what Paper is. It's not going to let me go back. All right. So we have this Metasig wallet. Metasig.io. Cryptomaniac says Wednesday. And Blues Guy also says today is Wednesday. I appreciate you guys keeping me on track here. I be grinding from the minute I get up to the minute I go to sleep, honestly, one way or another. It's not content, it's the gym or taking care of the fam, one or the other. So let's connect at token 2049 Singapore. Feel like we know somebody who's going to that. Maybe anybody? October 1st, the start of the big pump. Yeah, LOL. Yeah, exactly. Blues Guy nailed it. We're finally getting altcoin season. Maybe. So protecting your assets and your reputation, the most secure wallet technology in blockchain business. So I guess for this we will put, and it makes sense, Metasig, signatures that you have to do with your wallets everywhere. It's pretty interesting. So it's wallet technology. And is there anything else interesting about this? Let's see. What is Metasig? Revolutionary wallet technology for treasures, foundations, and Web3 funds built for professional. Metasig protocol protects assets and your reputation with one single points of failure. Oh, with no single points of failure. Wow, I really messed that one up. All right. So it's a wallet. And we're going to kind of segue over to something else. It's still about Anoma, so don't worry. We're not getting off topic here. But I wanted to break up kind of this information. Market's getting frothy. Yeah. The dawn, definitely getting frothy out there. It's a good word. I like that. So let's talk about intent, because when it comes to this project and the narrative around it, I feel like intent is the one that takes you a little bit to maybe wrap your head around, or maybe that was just me. Intents are a natural part of how we integrate with the world. Each time you use an app, you have an intent for what you want to do, from swapping tokens to buying NFTs or booking a flight. Intents are the outcome you want to satisfy. With intents on Anoma, you can specify what you want without needing to understand the complexities of how to do it. I think, honestly, this idea is genius. What is one of the biggest things? Now, I don't know how well they execute all this. I don't know. But one of the biggest things you've heard is the barrier to entry, or the understanding of the technology, wallets, seed phrases, all of that different kind of stuff, right? You got to, buy on this ecosystem, this blockchain, and then bridge it over here, and then swap it for this, and then go to this website and, connect your wallet. And then like that, you lost most average people at the very beginning of it, They're like, can I buy it on Coinbase? No. Okay, well, I'm not interested, or I'm not going to do that. So if you could just say, hey, I want the end goal to be this. This is what I want. This is what I want the end goal to be. It's my intention. And then it figures everything else out. If they could nail that, that could revolutionize adoption. All right, on top of the chat. Evolving dApps from transaction-centric to intent-centric. So they're saying right now we're in transaction-centric dApps. Users interact with dApps today by submitting transactions. They need to understand blockchains well enough to know exactly which transactions to sign for what they want to do. This overlay complex and unnatural user don't come to an app with transactions in mind. They come with intent. It's a good point. And at first, this whole intent thing felt a little abstract, and I didn't quite get what they were getting at. But the more, this stuff that they're saying right here, like this paragraph right here, that should be on the main web page, honestly, in my opinion. So intents are not magic, but Anoma's app will feel like they are. With Anoma's app, you can express your intent and let Anoma take care of the rest. Just tell the app what outcome you want, along with any preferences, and a decentralized network of intent solvers handles the complexity of navigating different protocols, chains, and transactional types. Very interesting. I don't know why it just came to mind. There was some company that got busted. They were trying to, and this might have been a little bit before like ChatGPT was something everybody was using, but they were basically claiming to be AI, and it turned out it was really just like this mega center in like India with like a bunch of people Googling stuff really fast and trying to give it to you, very quickly. And they got busted for it. And that's just what it reminded me of, when it said this intent solvers, just like a bunch of people somewhere trying to do what you asked them to do. That would be hilarious. Blues Guy. It's like a ChatGPT. Yeah, I think that there's a little bit of delay, so you'll hear me say that in 2 seconds. It's like ChatGPT, but in real life blockchain, solving hicks and bumps and making it better. This is huge ecosystem, W9W. I think he meant WoW. Yeah. This is huge. Probably he meant 4 ecosystems. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what's keeping the regular everyday person out of blockchain technology, out of crypto. You could buy on Coinbase and hold coins and think of yourself as an investor. That's cool. Nothing wrong with it. Maybe that's all you really care about. But if you like the tech and you want to see the future of tech kind of be unveiled, you got to come to Web3. So power to the people. This is really good information. So apps should be human-centric, not blockchain-centric. They just really like putting centric at the end of every word. They could just use the word centered. So Anoma's place Anoma places users' needs, preferences, and values at the center of the blockchain experience. It enables more natural interactions and empowers people to make blockchain work for them, paving the way for a more human-friendly, decentralized internet. So, any intent, anywhere. Anoma introduces a standard for generalized intent, the holy grail of intent-centric design. This enables any type of intent to be expressed and solved across any connected chains, rollups, or dApps. This opens the door to a new wave of innovation and user-friendly, seamless, interoperable dApps. I'm starting to get a feeling I understand why Coinbase Ventures was going to give them money and let them incubate this. Said, indeed, Eldron, indeed. If that's like a movie reference or something, I'm probably not going to get it. I definitely don't watch a lot of movies, or media for that matter, which is probably why I'm deep diving crypto live on YouTube. You know what I mean? All right, so I wanted to break that kind of, IQ raising information up a little bit. So we'll bounce kind of back and forth. I think we've almost finished that. So our next one is MH Ventures. I mean, we're going to start probably moving pretty quick through these just because this seems more like just a representation of an investor. I mean, it's ventures, right? What do ventures do? Accelerating the decentralized future by probably providing money. We backed and build, so they backed and build the next generation of open infrastructure, supporting bold founders and resilient protocols that redefine how values, coordinations, and trust are created. They are providing money. So that's what I'm going to write, liquidity. And you could see one investor liquidity project after another, and in all honesty, they're all relevant. Liquidity in this type of game is the key. It is the foundation. The Don must have got what you were saying, Blue Sky. I did not get it. I do apologize. People who say like movie quotes to me, a lot of times I just look at them like I have no idea what I'm supposed to do now. Flowdesk. Or maybe it's not a movie quote. Did I ever tell you how grateful I am that I found your channel? Best channel to learn about many, many different cryptos, early birds, and startup. This is great. You're doing great, Underground Crypto. Thank you, man. I greatly appreciate that. And I'm glad that you're happy to be here, because this is what I was doing for a long time by myself. And I don't know if you're somebody who likes this, Blues guys definitely got to identify with this. There's not a lot of people who you know in your day-to-day life you could talk to this stuff about. You'd be lucky if there's one. Now, there are some really extremely lucky people where like their whole family's into crypto and stuff like that, but for the most part, you'd be lucky if anybody you know would tolerate more than a 10-minute conversation about this stuff. So I was like, let's start a community instead of trying to talk to all the people around us about this stuff who honestly don't care and also can't hold a conversation. Maybe not because they don't care, but because they don't know anything about it. And so why not build our own community of people who want to be here, have something to say, have an interest, and let's see where that goes. So I appreciate you. Oh, he said I called the Don Eldon because I misread his name. Oops. Okay, well that makes way more sense to me. Working 24/7, 365. I really just outed myself about how I don't watch any movies and stuff. Not that it bothers me. With the world's largest token issuer and institution. So what is this? This is Flowdesk. OTC trading, liquidity provision. So these look like treasury management, liquidity. So what would we call this? What's like a one word that we could call this here? Loving the chill vibe, that's for sure. I appreciate the Don. Yeah, the reaction that I'm getting from a lot of people is that they love just how kind of relaxed the show is and stuff. That's awesome. I didn't know if maybe it wouldn't be production enough, a little bit done up enough. But those type of things are the things that stop you from moving, from doing something. And I just said, the heck with it. I'm going to hop on here. I'm going to start just doing what I already do. And if people hate it, they won't be here, you know? It's kind of like when people say we let the market decide, right? The market is not good. It's not bad. It doesn't love you. It doesn't hate you. You put stuff out. If it has value, the market will receive it well. And you will see, you know, some kind of exchange for that value. It could be subscribers. It could be likes. It could be watch hours, whatever. But if they hate it, you're going to be able to tell. So regulated and transparent. I literally don't even want to read much of this because I don't want to waste too much time on this. They are liquidity. And I got to turn the page here on my notes. I want to show my sloppy handwriting to everybody. That would be terrible. Then you guys would be judging me. Flow Desk, Linera, that was one that we covered. Actually, I think that's the one where the game's on. So the Vive is what makes the stream go by faster, not to worry. And said just a few buds talking crypto. Exactly. That's kind of what I want. I want it to be very, you know, might I say, crypto family, right? 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, LOL, and so on. Man. If I'm being 100% transparent, I've had one hell of a day as far as just all the things that there are to do. I legit would be lucky if I get to sit down, you know, for 30 minutes in a day. So obviously I do sit down while I'm at my desk a little bit, but sit down and not do anything, that's crazy. So no limit. Which is what we want. We want to push ourselves. This is called No Limit. And I'm kind of like keeping... I noticed that like I kind of have a conversation going like the whole time in between everything. And that just kind of happened organically. So hopefully that doesn't throw people off too much. You guys can let me know how you feel about that. Again, another night of viewership being really down. It's wild. We were having some really good viewership. I was really hoping with the market being up, we'd do a little better tonight. Been welding all day, 12 hours. All good, bro. I just sat down. Exactly. So you understand for sure how it goes. And I'm used to working hard. So when I transition over to doing a lot more YouTube and stuff, I don't know how to not kind of go 100 miles an hour. An investment partnership committed to accelerating value creation through blockchain technology globally. I feel like I read it, but I don't feel like I actually soaked it in. An investment partnership committed to accelerating value creation through blockchain technology. No Limits Holding. This is another liquidity provider. And on. At least at this rate, we'll be moving through things. Wickflow Capital or Wicklow Capital. I was hoping that a lot of these things would be a little bit more Crunchbase. You must verify your session on Crunchbase. What the heck is Crunchbase? I know what Coinbase is, but I don't know what Crunchbase is. So Wicklow, this is a very interesting looking website. Get predictions on funding, acquisition, IPO, and more. So they do predictions. What are they, like a genie? Chicago-based venture capital. Liquidity. Now, did they really need to put all of these different people here like they were in their ecosystem? I mean, I get it. They are in their ecosystem. But I mean, they're not like real projects. They're not projects, you know? Now, some of these are projects. The viewership will come. Faith, your hard work is paying off. It's already happening. Yeah, it absolutely is. And I don't want to seem like I'm complaining. I'm not. You just notice, you know, because I always have the number is kind of at the top of my chat here. So you just notice. Like I always say, I'd be doing this regardless. And I did this for a long time. making videos and stuff and getting very little out of it. By bridging the gap between groundbreaking climate technologies and markets that urgently need them, we accelerate the impact of innovation in economies, communities, and environments. So this is like a environmental thing. What's it called? Factor? I didn't even write it down. So with all these types of projects popping up, just tell me there's about to be a lot of capital flowing into the space. The Don really nailed it. I was thinking about it, but I hadn't quite said it out loud yet. Put a piece of tape on the numbers, LOL. Yeah, that's a good idea, Blue Sky. That is actually a solid idea. And what the Don said here, you know, with all these projects being very much about liquidity, I mean, there's got to be liquidity flowing into the project, right? Unless they're like a lot of really small time companies. And things get sketchy, you know, they get fraudulent. This project was up to 500 million in market cap right here, $502 million in market cap, and now they like halved it. So did some of these liquidity providers, were they up on their money? Because it's a money game. You know, they're not here providing liquidity because they love crypto. That's not why they're here. Now, one company, maybe, that's possible, but all of them, no way. Livelihoods improved. I don't know what the heck that means. Like livelihoods? Oh, livelihoods. Wow. Okay. That's hilarious. I haven't read that word in a while. Our think plus do plus learn approach. So marketing landscape, and they just have this solution here. Think, labs, do, ventures. It's a good concept. Some of our companies. So these people seem like they're pretty big, don't they? They have all these different companies. Maybe they've been doing this for a while. You can see their complete portfolio. Do we recognize any partners here? The Shell Foundation. Well, that sounds like money. All right. Kind of not the most retail interesting project. So what do we even call this? Climate technologies? I want to write something down for it. So let's see, what do we missed here? Brand new, interesting. All right. Man, it's crazy. Trying to keep the energy going. I legit feel like I'm about to fall out. That's wild. Okay, so AI, aligned layer, AI, inged layer. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that. Aligned. It's probably just me. So accelerating the Ethereum roadmap by simplifying ZK adoption. One-click solution for wallets, rollups, interoperability, and ZK services. So this is very much infrastructure. Aligned? Did I really just mess up aligned? Is that for real? Man, I must be tired. Aligned is a vertically integrated stack for building applications on verifiable internet. Where it's financial infrastructure or AI systems, we provide the foundation for provable execution with one-click solutions for wallets, rollups, interoperability, and ZK services in a world where trust is no longer given. Definitely infrastructure. Literally says financial infrastructure. All right, so we'll move on to the next one. I really want to stop and dive into when we find like real projects. And we found a couple yesterday. I don't know what happened when they mixed all these projects up. Are we on all? Yeah, I just want to make sure we weren't on the wrong thing. So infrastructure, privacy. I wish one of these just said liquidity and we would just take that off. So we finished another one of these lines here. Cognitive finance. So they are advisors. We're going to skip through this a little bit faster because I feel like this is getting a little bit dry. Right. At first, when we first started this yesterday, we were getting a lot of good projects with a lot of good stuff to say. Now it just feels like we're just getting a bunch of investment people, right? So this is called Luminous Cap. Should probably just not even try to say these ones, right? Powering a decentralized and transparent future. Our investments are based on the fundamental technology promises of the underlying protocols and products and their potential to create scalable business models with long-lasting outcomes. Here's their portfolio. Flowdesk, we just went over that. Algorand. I just see so much interconnectedness between lots of companies, Algorand, that you would know. And I feel like a lot of projects don't really give you this sauce, right? Like they don't really let you in on all of these different people who are involved. Coinbase Ventures. Not that we really need to click on that. We know what Coinbase Ventures is, but we're going to click on it anyways. So advancing crypto and Web3. Coinbase Ventures invests in exceptional founders who share Coinbase's mission of creating more economic freedom for the world. And that's Coinbase Ventures. Not that we really need to spend a lot of time on Coinbase Ventures here. Let's go back. Orda Network, we went over that already. FGB Capital is going to be Capital, a digital asset management firm and blockchain-based capital markets. I mean, we have digital asset firms for every other, traditional finance type of thing. So it's only natural that blockchain, crypto, whatever you want to call it, would begin to kind of get a lot of the same type of asset managers and liquidity providers and stuff like that, right? People who have a vision for crypto and believe in it. So they'll lend the money. Let's invest in a world built on integrity. This is B1. At B1, we originate, incubate, and acquire and invest in technologies and businesses that build trust in transactions and increase efficiencies in the world we live in. Another way that we could really look at this deep dive is we're basically deep diving investors and liquidity providers in the crypto space. Wouldn't make the best thumbnail, right? Boundless, a new project which we've been over many times. So the Universal ZK protocol built on the world's first RISC-V ZK virtual machine. So RISC. The future of compute begins here. What is compute used for? Boundless is a protocol for accessing verifiable compute on any chain and rewarding nodes for contributing useful work. So proof of useful work. Anybody ever heard of that? Proof of work, I know you've heard of. How about proof of useful work? And you can mine. It has some mining capabilities. This is probably going to be pretty techy. What do you need to actually mine here? This could be a very interesting thing to get into. Recommended configuration looks pretty standard. I mean, that's what's in most people's computers. This gaming laptop probably overqualified there. And that's Boundless. Boundless is worth talking about because it's a project that we've seen trending. It's its own project with its own coin. Interchain Foundation. Also an Anoma project, right? So Interchain Foundation responsibly shaping a new technology paradigm, and that seems very lockstep with what Anoma is all about. So this is interchain.io. Integrate internationally and interoperability. That's a fun word. Works on Cosmos, so there's connections to Cosmos here, Cosmos Labs. We're just picking out the gems. What is important here? Well, this is very much connected to Cosmos, I think, is the biggest takeaway you're going to get. Reject all the cookies and all the pop-ups. And then they have a link to Cosmos Labs, which is pretty cool. But I don't think we quite need to go there. I wouldn't be surprised if Cosmos Lab is one of these and pops up, right? And we're starting to move here. Anoma Pay. I feel like we looked at this yesterday, but maybe we didn't. Let's go to the website. The global stablecoin router. So there's all these different stablecoins. What is a stablecoin router, and what does that mean? What is Anoma Pay? Anoma Pay is a revolutionary global stablecoin router. So not just another stablecoin, but a stablecoin router and payment network designed to facilitate seamless, secure, and real-world payments between anyone, anywhere. Check in the chat. All right. So key features: data protection, blazing fast transaction, global reach. Again, another gem kind of thing. Because you've heard of stablecoins. How many stablecoin routers have you heard of? What does that exactly mean? I mean, they gave us a little bit of a definition here, but you know, what does that really mean? So let's talk about how it works. Anoma Pay acts as an intelligent router directing your stablecoin through transactions through the most efficient and secure pathways. Anoma's innovative architecture allows for a single application to span many different providers, providing a truly unified global payment experience. Sounds like something you would absolutely need to have if you were going to be the intent layer, right? Where I could just give you what my intention is and then you figure it out. It really does remind me of ChatGPT. You know, it's like I like that. I like what you said, Blue Sky. I don't want to take credit for it, but the ChatGPT of blockchain. And how does that not do well? I mean, if it doesn't deliver, you know, if it doesn't actually work or it works poorly, okay, I could see that. But aside from that, if it can really nail it, then you've got something. You've got something big. The more I read about this, you know, something told me that we really needed to deep dive this full thing, and now I'm starting to see why. And I'm not trying to drink the Kool-Aid or sell you on something. You know, we're all here learning together, and you make your own decisions. Freedom and flexibility, speed and efficiency, data protection by design, decentralized future, and global accessibility. A lot of the stuff that you would hear in blockchain, you know, across the board there. So Anoma Pay makes sense. This is Anoma, so it goes hand in hand. Sprinter. Sprinter is introducing a lending protocol designed to make capital more efficient for solvers, enabling solver yield to flow back to LPs, which are liquid pools. Cool looking website. So the fast lane for cross-chain. The fast lane for cross-chain. I like that. It's a good slogan. Sprinter is next generation solver-based infrastructure designed to optimize cross-chain transaction. So more evolution of tech, more cutting edge type ideas is what it seems like, right? Solver as a service, swapping cross-chain API. Built by these trailblazers right here. I don't know why, if it's like the font, they made a lot of these look like mugshots. Doesn't that look like a mugshot there? They use his mugshot as his photo. Very odd. I think it's just the art, the way that they put it, right? So what is Sprinter? It is the fast lane for cross chains. Zola Global. Sounds like an investment fund. So Zola Global is an operational focus family office. Okay. How big a family? How rich a family? That deploys capital to help management teams build lasting and sustainable businesses across industry globally. And that's it. That's all they got. So what is this? Atomic? A powerful yet simple API to seamlessly read and write to multiple blockchains. Something you would definitely need to be an intent layer. So infrastructure, right? One API, 60 plus chains, no infra burden. So they have a little video. Is this worth pulling up somewhere else so you guys can watch it? Maybe. We'll do it. Just because I want to get better at being able to pull up videos in general. And I already have a way to do it because of the music. It will probably stop the music for a minute, is what it is. And it's a 1 minute video, so If you're watching this later and you don't want to watch it, you just skip 1 minute, right? And it looks exactly the same, so you don't even notice that I swap over. It's kind of cool. All right, now you should be able to hear it.
Let's face it.
And I won't be able to hear it. So that's fun.
Interfacing with multiple blockchain ecosystems is becoming increasingly difficult. Developers must understand specific blockchain logic, juggle different APIs, and build custom code. As the number of blockchains supported by crypto applications increases, so does developer workload, resulting in complex code bases, heavy maintenance, and slower delivery. Imagine a world where your application interfaces seamlessly with any blockchain at scale and as quickly as the market demands. Meet Anoma, the blockchain connectivity layer designed to simplify multi-chain development. Our unified non-custodial API lets you read and write on any blockchain with just one integration. Forget maintaining multiple connections and code bases. Connect your application to the Atomic API today and easily ship.
Hopefully this is good information, as I have no idea what it's saying. But I get the gist of it.
And focus on innovation. Atomic. Integrate once. Access all blockchains.
Neck is killing me. All right. So we'll leave that there. Make sure we mute that tab so it doesn't come back at any point. Switch this so I can easily find it. And we're back. Look at that. I'm getting good at that. All right. So, oh, it says can't really hear it. Oh, because it's turned down. Man, I almost did it well. All right, guys. I'm sorry about that. So I have the virtual audio link or whatever so that the music plays, but the music is turned down. So the channel that it played through was really low. All right, guys. I'll make sure that I get that right the next time. Blue Guy says, load up on XAN. Not financial advice, or no financial advice. I didn't say it. He said it. So Sprinter, I like the name. All in the name and the words. XAN users are pretty cool. Cryptomaniac says I can't really hear it, and then he said all good. Yeah, we'll get better at that. I need to maybe figure out a better way to do it, or open a separate browser and then have a separate channel in OBS. That's probably the way to go about it. So KR1.io. What is it? So KR1 PLC is the leading publicly listed digital asset company. So KR1 publicly listed company, I think is what that's supposed to be. So KR1 PLC, do they have to put that all the time? Can they just be KR1? Is a leading digital asset company focused on decentralized technology, publicly listed on London's Aquis Stock Exchange, not something I'm familiar with there, by providing exposure and innovation and growth of the industry. KR1 has been a pioneer in digital assets and decentralized networks since KR1 PLC's inception in March 2016. So they go way back. And I'm not super excited to read that website. So we're gonna move on. They're London Stock Exchange, right? And possible finance. We want possible finance. We don't want impossible finance. So learn and invest in crypto opportunities. Impossible Finance is the go-to crypto investment platform that empowers you with high-quality, fair, and accessible crypto opportunities. Impossible Finance. I feel like they would make a really cringy, like, hype video. So I launched a little app, but I'm still like, what is it? So it's got connections to Hemi. That was BTC DeFi. What else we got? Anything else we would know? Earn Alliance, Moonveal. I don't know those. Aether. Should recognize that one. Ronin. All right. So we know a couple of them, but not a lot of them. Now let's go to the little app that they launched. So Arena 2 OG Pass sale. So this seems more of like a real project, right? Not just another investing company. Boy, there were a lot of those. I think we could have did without those. So they have some games. So manage, vesting, available, staked, unvesting. Okay. Seems like a very financial tool kind of thing. And then they threw like a couple of games at us just randomly. I don't even know what that's about. Finance Smart Chain. Monad Testnet. The Monad protocol. Full EVM compatible with breakthroughs. I'm like, please don't tell me this is another layer 1 coming out. There have been so many layer 1 projects coming out lately. I don't know how many layer 1 projects we really need, unless they're going to be super niched out and do very specific things and not really compete with each other. Then maybe there's room for them. Okay, so they changed their name a little bit, I guess. Not really, though. That was from July 15th. That's 145,000 impressions, and there's nothing else here. 15.4 thousand in followers, and they have 1 post. It feels like we should know who they are. I don't know. Is that impressive, or is that like the opposite? Like they have nobody. They have no posts, and they have 15-something thousand followers. Very weird. Anyways, that wasn't the thing. Impossible Finance was what we were actually looking at. We just got kind of side-saladed there a little bit. Where were we? Impossible Finance. Predicate. Predicate is a censorship-resistant policy infrastructure enabling rules to be defined on-chain infrastructure. Okay. So like compliance maybe? Policy for blockchain applications. So you really start to see the infrastructure of Anoma come out. You got liquidity providers. You have people to provide Anoma Pay. Now you have something for defining rules about what's going on. All kinds of different stuff. It really starts to paint a full picture. Define transaction rules to secure financial products. Trusted by the best. Securing the next generation of financial application. Design secure ecosystems. Build regulation rails. Like when you catch yourself when you're about to say it wrong, but then you don't. You just like jump all over the word. All right, what else do we got? Onboard institutional capital, protects users, enables compliant transactions, verify liquidity requirements, unlock the 410 trillion global financial system predicate. Purposefully designed on blockchain systems, protocol level enforcement, one integration on API, programmable rules. Okay. Plume. Again, like we just keep seeing like decent products, or yeah, products, they could be called that, projects, decent projects, you know, really intertwined through all of this different infrastructural, you know, projects, alchemy, that are linked with Anoma, and we've seen Algorand, Near Protocol, Plume, I mean, and countless other ones. Very interesting how well connected they are. And you would expect something that wants to connect all the blockchains together to be well connected with other blockchains. That makes a lot of sense. Finoa. Digital assets for institutional investors. Protect, manage, and grow your assets with a secure platform built to meet your institutional needs. Finoa is a German regulated and qualified crypto custodian offering offering institutional investors secure access to custody, staking, and more. The team is headquartered in Berlin and trusted by more than 300 institutional clients globally. This is TradFi, right? So TradFi is getting their hand in this. It could be a good sign. So Zab says XAN is a hidden gem. It has tons of fundamentals all in one that will shock the crypto world. Yeah. Zab, I think you left a comment on something earlier. I'm glad that you came by. I don't know if you've been here the whole time or not, but yeah, the more that we deep dive this, I have to agree with Zab a little bit. This is looking like a gem that is going to have some real lasting power in the crypto, you know, I would say ecosystems, but like all of them, because that's what it's trying to do. So informal.systems. And what is informal? The opposite of formal. But yeah, I mean, the more I read about this, the more that just punches the microphone. That'll keep everybody awake. So our mission is to foster trust in software and money. And I was going to say, the more that I'm looking at this stuff, the more I'm really starting to like this project as a cutting edge, next generation evolution in crypto, blockchain technology, kind of pushing the forefront of what we need. How long have people said that we needed some kind of fix for how overly technical crypto is? The barrier to entry. We started talking about it earlier. We've been saying it for a really long time. I mean, as long as I've been in crypto, and it's gotten better. Really, it used to be way worse. And I remember literal days trying to figure out very simple stuff. I remember I got involved with Mobox a long time ago. There was a YouTuber who was showing about it. I thought it was really cool. Didn't really know a lot about crypto, but I was trying to stake in the liquidity pool, right? And to figure out how to get Mobox on PancakeSwap, and then also get the exact 50% amount of Binance Smart Chain or BNB, and then figure all that out. It took me 3 days of doing it, and that's how it is. And you forget quickly, because then you get good at it, you understand how to do it, and you very quickly forget how difficult it is for people who don't understand it, right? So XAN has many partnerships company with different attributes working with its ecosystem, and it's the kind of association that will make the project flourish, hopefully. Exactly. And I'm getting the feeling Blues Guy has a really high crypto IQ over here, because he says a lot of very, in touch things. Cycles, open clearing protocol. Privacy and capital efficiency for payments and finance. Malachite. This is informal, and I haven't quite hit exactly what the heck this thing is, but it's well connected. It seems Anoma, Axelar, Babylon, Barachain, Celestia, Cosmos. Just another very well connected DYDX. I mean, when they run a string of names and I know exactly what each one of them is, that's good. That's a good thing. Egen layer, I don't really know what it is, but we've been over it several times. I know that. Injective. So informal security. Security audits, protocol designs, formal methods, rigorous engineering for blockchain protocols. This is another thing that you would have to have in the technology that would be the intent layer for crypto, right? The intent machine. So Blues Guy says, amazing idea. If they can't come true and make it work. If they can come true and make it work, it's huge. Exactly. Zab, you got that right. Zab, we are very, very early. Yeah, I know. And as far as being early, you saw on their Twitter that they said they're live, but I think they meant the coin, the actual token for the project is live. I don't think the network is live, because we'll find one of these projects, even if I have to go find the one we already went to. It's in testnet. So I don't know. I feel like I'm just trying to think this through a little bit. Maybe I should do this before stream, but why would it going from testnet to mainnet cause more money to flow into the market cap? Because I would imagine investors who are invested, they're pre-invested. They're already in here. That money you see in the market cap is probably mostly their money. Also, another thing that I don't think people think about is they probably have a treasury, right? Where not all the money that they have, if you took out a loan or whatever, from these investors and stuff, an investment seed, and you wouldn't put it in your market cap. You'd put it in a treasury for the company. So there's a good chance that Anoma is holding quite a bit more money than what's in their market cap. At least, I don't know. I feel like if they were smart, that's how they would do it. So dialectic. Okay. Dialectic is a machine that solves crypto-native ciphers to unlock extraordinary value for our members. Super interesting. And I liked another thing that Blues Guy said, where he said they use a lot of very interesting terms in terminology. He was talking about Sprinter and stuff like that, and it's true. One of the things I say all the time is when you see language on different websites that we go to that it's different from the language that you see on most of the other websites, kind of shows you they're more cutting edge, they're newer, they have a different narrative, they have an evolution of the way something's done. Like they're bringing some kind of solve to the market. That makes them useful. That provides value. Sully swap. All right, so we have a swap. Is Sully swap going to be the swap? All right. I don't want to go too far in speculating, but if you know how Pancake Swap did and Uniswap did, this could be a gem. Let's find out if this is what I think it is. This gets me excited. If this is what I think it is, it makes all the other projects that were somewhat boring that we went over worth it. Sully Swap is a dark pool aggregator for DeFi, enabling you to swap without the spotlight, route trades confidentially, cut signaling, and get prices you expect. So slippage, right? Man, this is interesting. A dark pool, though, that just sounds not good. I'm glad that it's funny, they call it a dark pool and then they make the website like all nice and bright and happy looking. And I don't think the dark pool means anything crazy. I think they're really just trying to talk about privacy, right? It's a dark pool and there's some privacy here. So cut signaling and get the price that you expect. Brother, language has frequency. The words the ecosystem partners have been shown in with the proper names for its function. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. Don't disagree with anything you said. Stop broadcasting orders. And there's a lot of people counter trading and doing what this person and that wallet is doing. I mean, it's kind of why privacy could be important. Well, privacy is important, but you get what I'm saying, you know? Sully swap mission, like, because as much as it's going to allow you to make moves without people seeing you, how many people are really worried about, you know, their moves being seen by the whales? It's the other way around. It's the whales who are worried about their moves being seen by us, but they already have answers to that. The Lifer actually put out an article in his Discord that was about all of that. It was very interesting. Like, I wish I could remember the terminology. It was like iceberg orders and stuff like that, dark orders. And it's all OTC stuff. Like when big whales want to make buys and sales and they don't want to move the market, they have OTC deals and stuff like that. And they have ways of hiding all of their, you know, moves and stuff like that so you can't see them. Trust me, the big guys have that figured out. Discrete by nature, trade life cycle confidentiality, and MEV resistance. EVM compatible today, expanding horizons, unified routing. Trade coins, not signals. Sully swap. Is there a working product? Let's go to their Twitter. I want to go ahead and follow them. I don't know if there's any other swaps. Sometimes there's multiple swaps in an ecosystem. But if there's a coin for this, I'm going to buy some for sure. Chosen. Okay. Now I follow you. Chosen with proper names for its functions. Exactly. That part seems like they've nailed it pretty well. Do we want to try? I'm going to pull this video up on the other place so that we can watch it. Just because I'm annoyed that I didn't nail the audio. Could be a little bit of a perfectionist sometimes. Although I really don't have that like A1 type personality. And we'll make sure that we turn this up decent. Hopefully I don't like destroy you guys. Let me know if it's too loud or not. Matter of fact, I really could use anybody watching's feedback on audio, how loud it is or not loud enough. Everybody could just participate for a good 2 minutes here. Because I want to know where I should put the audio, right? That way I just always know in the future what I should do with it. I'm getting mixed up between all the stuff I have here. No, I don't want to do all of that. Oh, this is not in dark mode? Should be like a crime. Alright, whatever. We'll let it rock. So let me know how the audio is. Too loud, too loud. Okay, okay. He says loud now, too loud. Thought it paused this like a bunch of times. Okay, well that's too loud. Turned it down pretty considerably. Alright, you're not saying I'm too loud, right? Too low. I don't even think it's playing right now, right? Hold on, everybody. I think that we have something else playing in the background. The video's playing in 2 different places. Alright, so it should only be playing from one place now. We'll make it big. Hopefully that doesn't ruin it. Too low now. How is it now, guys? It's loud still. Okay. Thing. I know this is a little bit of like techie on, you know. I turned it down a little bit. Turned it down a little bit more. Sorry for anybody's speakers that I blew out. The music is too loud. The video's too quiet. Okay. I got you. Yeah. Duh. Once again, that is my bad. Gonna get this figured out, though. We're gonna nail this so we can watch videos. Alright, so the music is off, right? I gotta figure out how to have this set up quick and easy. I'm gonna make a new channel in OBS for this. Yeah, exactly. Now it doesn't seem like anything's coming through from there. Oh, unmute tab. Yeah, it would help if the tab wasn't muted, right? That would make sense.
And SollySwap can fix it. We've all been there, right? You caught a coin early, it's up big, and your last desperate dollars you threw into a trade are suddenly looking pretty tasty. So you go to
All right,
sell,
how do we
but the
feel about
chain
it
sees
now?
it all, and
How's the
suddenly
volume?
Your hefty bag is getting front run and sold into, and you're left with a cratered chart reminiscing over that screenshot you took at the top. But what if I told you it didn't need to be that way? SollySwap is a dark pool aggregator for DeFi. It enables complete trade lifecycle confidentiality. You can deposit money into the SollySwap app, buy any token on any chain supported by Anoma's protocol adapters. Thanks to the powerful capabilities of the Anoma resource machine, the trade is executed quietly
All right,
without the
let's
chain
turn it
knowing.
up.
SollySwap is built on top of
about now?
existing DeFi architecture. There's deep liquidity enabled on day one, allowing you to take complete control over entering and exiting your positions, and you don't need to signal to others when you do. SollySwap will be live on EVM mainnets such as Base, Arbitrum and Ethereum in Q4 2025, with additional chains such as Solana and Hyperliquid following soon
All right,
after.
he says there we go. So
Swap
that
without
must
the
be
spotlight.
exactly what we wanted. So we're going to call it negative 17 decibels. Need to write that down. Hold on. Or I guess I could just write it right here. Negative 17. All right, so the video's over. That was very unplanned, but I'm glad that we did that real quick. So let me make sure I turn that back down before I start the music again. Believe I know where the music was volume-wise. All right, just let me know if the music is like super loud or anything like that. It should be in the same place that it was. If anything, it might be down even a little bit more than it was. And let me get it back so you can see a lot of technical moving parts on the back end here, right? Now I know how the lifer feels setting all this stuff up. He's been doing it so much, though. He really nails it, huh? All right, so that didn't seem like it took me to the right place. Okay, here we are. All right, we're not going to do that constantly, but I wanted to make sure that I at least have the capability to show you a video if I want to show it to you. So Sully swap, again, I'm thinking pancake swap, I'm thinking Uniswap, I'm thinking all that kind of stuff. So the World Liberty Finance team and its global communities. As one of the early investors in World Liberty Finance, I have contributed not only capital, but also my trust support for the future of the project. My goal has always been, whoa, this is way too long. We're not going to read all this, but we'll read some of it. Where was his goal? My goal has always been to grow alongside the team and community and jointly build together with the WLF ecosystem. However, during the course of operations, my tokens were unreasonably frozen. This is Justin's son. I don't know if this is the real Justin's son, but all I know is I don't trust Justin's son at all. And we don't need to even got to get into that. All right, so this is Sully swap. This is so far one of the more exciting things that I've looked at here. Is there going to be other swaps? Here, I'm going to actually write this one down. I quit writing some of them down. It was just taking too long. I don't want to sit here while I'm doing it like I am right now, but I'll write this one down. All right. What else do we got? Olive Tree Capital. Obviously a capital provider here, liquidity. We invest in groundbreaking technologies and life science companies. So does that mean that they believe this product is groundbreaking technology? Is that what they're trying to say here? We don't need to spend a lot of time on it. It's another capital, right? And again, when your ecosystem is made up of capital providers, how much trouble are you going to have getting things funded and getting things done? Institutional cold storage and staking. Unit 410 is a full-service self-custody and staking provider that has been powering the largest news network since 2018. Why would news networks need cold storage and staking? Is that what they were trying to say? It's very odd. Unit 410. Cold storage and staking. Digital asset treasuries. Okay. And I mean, you're going to need big. I mean, it's kind of smart to have somebody who has insurance and all of that jazz, large amounts of money, and then they can handle your cold storage and staking. And if they mess it up, then it's covered somehow. If I mess it up, it's over. Epoch protocol. I feel like we went over this. Intent solver, coordination layer, empowering an intent-centric. I just better get used to saying intent-centric. Web3 abstraction. Not even application, abstraction. Epoch protocol. Have we looked at this? Universal coordination layer for Web3. So if it's going to be this intent layer, it's going to need really good coordination. That makes sense. Try testnet. Again, another testnet. Haven't seen anything that says mainnet yet. I sent in the Discord a link to one of Anoma's partnerships. Noble will facilitate Anoma Pay, Ondo, Circle, and Coinbase. Wow. Okay. Another reason, guys, to be in that Discord. Not only am I posting good stuff in there, but also Blue Sky is as well. And I will definitely check that out. Pop over there real quick. Noble. I don't doubt that Noble will come up on our list here, right? It definitely should. Web3 is fragmented. Epoch makes it frictionless, which seems to be the whole goal here, right? So we don't need to read a reiteration of the same things, talking points that we've been saying over and over. But it is the coordination layer, which if you're going to give this machine an output or an intent, and it's going to figure it out, then it's going to need to be pretty well coordinated, right? Because sometimes the things you might give it might be a little bit out there. So this is not available for whatever reason. Broken link. Maven Capital. And we'll move through these capital ones real quick. We partner with Brave Outliers, who challenge the status quo. Well, they found it. Anoma is definitely that project. He is that guy. So Maven Capital. Bitcoin Suisse. Founded in 2013. Wow, that's a long time. Bitcoin Suisse is the Swiss crypto native pioneer and trusted gateway to capital. What? All right, let me get something to drink. Start over. Founded in 2013. That was hilarious. Bitcoin Suisse is the Swiss crypto native pioneer and trusted gateway to crypto asset investment, offering institutional grade crypto services for custody, staking, and brokerage at the forefront of technical innovation. Wow, we got the chats rolling in here. So, epoch, a period of time in history or person's life, typically one marketed by notable events or particular characteristics. Cryptomaniac says, gotta take off. Have a good night, everyone. Cheers. Good to see you, Cryptomaniac. See, we're about to roll into the second hour here. Cryptomaniac says, great seeing ya. Puts a little cheers. Awesome. Oh, wait, I meant to click on that. Let's go check this out. This thing, it's a Swiss crypto something or other, right? All right, welcome to Better. We are the leading Swiss premium crypto finance service providers designed to build and run by industry natives, experience profound sector-specific enterprises, and cohesive and adaptable product suite and unparalleled client services. All right. Well, I mean, the Swiss have always been known to be kind of in that elitist category, so I would imagine there's some big money and big wealthy individuals involved in something like this, I would imagine. It's just speculation, just speculation. Maybe we should have did these like sector by sector. Maybe that would have been easier. All right. I didn't want to mess it up that bad. All right, so Fifth Era. I think we're just now halfway through these. I think we might be a little more than halfway. Fifth Era blockchain coinvestors. They're not co-investors. Right, it's definitely co-investors and not coinvestors. I mean, it could go either way. I like coinvestors. Coinvestors is way cooler, right? Faster, smaller. Who are we? Since I can't really listen to the video. We are specialized asset managers. So they're asset managers, right? Providing access to exponential technologies that are transforming our world. We are entering a period of unprecedented innovation we call Fifth Era. And every industry and business will be dramatically impacted. We focus on investing into these new innovations. So it seems like a very asset manager, TradFi kind of company, maybe, I'm speculating there. It does say AI and blockchain, who's really embracing this next move with the AI and the blockchain technology and sees the writing on the wall. As most of us in crypto definitely already see the writing on the wall, right? Accurist, maybe? The real decentralized compute network powered by phones. Okay, that's interesting. So, Nicolason Von... What are you trying to do to me, Blues Guy? Who that? You could have just said Nicholas. Founded Bitcoin Suisse AG in mid-2013, AI Access. I love I love how you follow up with like more follow-up information to what I'm saying. That is so on point, man. And the bigger this community gets, the more that is going to be useful. And Yeah. Just looking at how many people are here, I know it's lying to me. So season 4 of Cloud Rebellion is live. I know I got to stop looking at it, but it's like every time I look at the chat. So join the rebellion, a curious quest platform, complete tasks, receive mist, and climb the ranks. Claim your spot now. I don't know where it's taking me. I probably shouldn't have clicked that. This looks really interesting. There's quests and loot box. Oh, this loot box looks cool. Is it true that this is so random? Is it true that Elon Musk like debuted his like phone that's gonna rival Apple, or was that a joke? I caught it so fast on Twitter that I didn't know if it was a joke or if it was legitimate. It's supposed to have like free Starlink with every phone, and so I don't know what it was, but very interesting. Real decentralized compute network. So is this another, got a spare phone? I mean, I do. I have several spare phones. But is this just another one of those let us use your processing power kind of plays? Become part of the already growing Cloud Rebellion. Thousands are on board. Join the Cloud Rebellion community and receive mist. Okay, a lot like grass. Link in the description. By completing quests, deploying apps to accurate decentralized cloud, onboarding your mobile phone as a processor, referring friends, and getting more. So is this like their version of making a supercomputer to power this intent machine? It would make a lot of sense. I don't know if anybody ever tried grass or anything like that. Really simple to set up and stuff, but I haven't really felt like I've been seeing the rewards. You know, they're giving me the rewards points, but I want the grass token or something, you know, like that. I want something of some value that I can actually do something with. I'm going to do a little bit more research because there might be somewhere where they're sending it or I need to claim or something and I just haven't been paying attention. It's very well possible. Key capabilities and use case. Confidential execution, decentralized bandwidth, on-chain automation, high performance distributed. So yeah, state compute. So then you could... State compute plays significant role. 70% of inflation is allocated to state compute. But I thought the token was called Mist. Maybe I'm missing something there. See what I did? Why mobile? Probably because phones are pretty decently powerful, right? Smartphones are the most battle-tested devices worldwide. Billions rely on their security with built-in trusted execution environments and the best-in-class hardware security modules. Smartphones offer a high level of security than servers ever can. That's a good point. A good point that I honestly didn't really think about. I mean, I knew that to be true, but I didn't really think about it. Fair block network. Smartphones are the most battle. Oh, okay, man, he is on it. Yeah, we just read that. Blues guy is on it, man. You're hired. Fair block network. Fair block leverages dynamic confidential computing and mitigated decentralized. I just thought, Blues guy, I take it you're not driving anymore, hopefully. Fair block leverages dynamic confidential computing to mitigate centralized risk and prevent information leakage and in decentralized applications. Can I just read what I want? Can I just say what I think is there before I actually read it? Powering incorruptible markets and machines. That sounds like a heck of a claim. Let's go to how it works because I think that's what I really want to know. What is Fair block? Fair block is a dynamic, decentralized, cryptographic computer enabling fast, secure execution for cryptographic logic. It hosts low-cost, high-performance native CAP, so centralized applications, and seamlessly delivers the capabilities into ecosystems such as Arbitrum, Hyperliquid, Solana, Base, and Cosmos. How come when I read it as fast as I can, I don't mess it up? But when I slow down to make sure I'm doing it right, I mess it up. I don't know. I don't get it. There's no way there's 4 people watching right now. So, users, seamlessly encrypted transaction in browser or wallet. Encrypted transaction submitted. Okay, so this is just giving you kind of a flow of how it works, and you can swap to confidential stable coins in the general flow. Architecture, fairy ring, and fairy kit. That sounds like a lame name to give it, but I guess it's fair blocks, so they went with the whole fairy thing. What are their C apps, right? Confidential. So the C maybe doesn't stand for centralized, stands for confidential, compliant. Do they tell us what the C stands for? Cryptograph. I don't know. There's a lot of C words it could stand for, but we know dApps to be decentralized applications. So when you throw a C in front of it, we're going to assume it's centralized, and that's probably not what they mean, right? Unruggable AI, lazy killer, verifiable randomness. Very interesting. We don't have the time to dig into every single one of those. It's going to take us long enough just to get through this. Figment Ventures, we've been to that. WAGMI Ventures, another ventures capital, another investment thing. Fairblock Partners, Axelar, and Arbitrum. Okay. Seems like they will be in charge of security and confidentiality. Sweet. Another broken link here. It's honestly kind of a good thing because it was just a venture thing. Hashkey. I mean, that's got to be Hashtera, right? Hashkey Cloud. Hashkey Cloud does not provide service to or accept jurisdiction. I'm not reading that. Why is that even there? So where cloud powers blockchain. Hashkey Cloud is a leading provider of global Web3 infrastructure and a core member of the Hashkey group. Hashkey, I've only ever heard that term in Hashtera, Hashgraph, the blockchain technology behind why am I blanking on it? It's literally in the name. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, right? And Hedera. That's what it is. Hedera. Man. Members of Hashkey Group focuses on delivering professional, stable, and secure blockchain services to clients worldwide. 2018, we have been deeply committed to blockchain, So we are world-leading blockchain staking service providers. We support over 80 mainstream public chains with enterprise-grade staking services. So they have like a professional team that handles the staking for them. And I don't know if Hashkey is related to Hashtera, but I mean Hashkey and all these different hash words, and you have Hashgraph and Hashtera or Hedera. Anchorage. Really feel like we went over Anchorage. It's hilarious. Just Anchorage Digital. Yeah, we definitely looked at this already. They mixed them all up on me. And at this point, we got to get through it because I can't have them mix them up on me again. We'll never know where we're at unless I remember every single one of these, which I might. Galileo Ventures, another ventures company. We back emerging founders. I mean, that's what a venture, venture, VCs, venture company. We always talk about VCs, right? Fluton, the intent-centric, fast and low cost gateway enabling instant swaps, bridges, cross EVM, Ethereum virtual machine, and alt virtual machine networks. The more we dig, the more Anoma looks like a gem. I absolutely agree. I wasn't quite sure. It had just came out and the price had dropped and it just really felt like, I don't know. But something told me, let's go ahead and deep dive because that's what we're supposed to do. Regardless of if it's a good project or not, we should do our research. And I'm starting to feel like this is a gem. So the modular communication hall, and they're just too well connected. At one point, wasn't on yesterday's live. There's nothing here, by the way. Just says Fluton, the universal confidential engine. So confidentiality is privacy is what they're about. But I said the other day that I really felt like this project's too new, too cutting edge in what they're saying, too well connected, incubated by by Coinbase Ventures. It's listed already on Coinbase. A lot of projects spend a lot of time to get themselves listed. This is a VC. We're not even going to look at that. To get themselves listed on Coinbase, this thing gets listed on Coinbase like the day it comes out. That's too well connected. Coinbase knows who they are. They know they're legitimate. That's my opinion. Now, these are all my opinions. They're not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy Anoma. For anybody watching this later, please understand that. I bought $40 worth. It looks like, and I wanted to do this deep dive first, right, before I put any more money in it. But if it took off, I just wanted to have a little something in there. But it's nothing in the big picture of things. $40 is not a big deal, right? I could afford to lose it. But the more that we go through this, the more I'm thinking definitely worth allocating some more funds to. Super new, and it's down 50%. Repo is building a resource coordinated layer that allows AI devs and agents to permissionlessly raise capital. So this is about raising capital, but it's called Repo. And to access niche data sets and infrastructure on demand by simply expressing intent. That goes right with everything that we've been talking about here. Very cool background. Scalable data infrastructure bringing the richness of human intelligence to AI. Proof of human intelligence. Launch platform. Okay, so this has got a whole product. This is worth writing down. Now I'm just writing down the more reputable products here. So over 120,000 votes and counting. How it works, man, that's probably where we want to be. Publisher AI creations. Share your human AI collabs, vibes, coded apps, videos, art, whatever. Discover and predict. Explore human AI collabs. Think a project will win. Lock in your prediction by voting. And then earn. Winning creators and the voters who back them share the prize pool. So I guess you could come in here and somebody could say, hey, I have this idea. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And then you would say, okay, I believe that this is the one. Just like we would probably give Anoma the vote of confidence right now, right? Somebody got tic-tac-toe. We could vote for tic-tac-toe. I don't know if you have to spend some of the token or something in order to vote. Not really sure. Can we vote on this? Tic-tac-toe. It's an app. It's entertainment. It's lovable. That's an odd category. We could vote now. You got to be signed in. Okay, but connect a wallet. Okay. To me, it's a pretty interesting idea. And if you earn, then you have incentive, right? If you're earning, you have incentive. Now, honestly, very simple stuff like tic-tac-toe. You could have ChatGPT write you a code for tic-tac-toe game anytime. It can do very simple stuff like that. You're not going to get a AAA game built out of ChatGPT. It's just not going to happen. But you could get very simple stuff. Like whatever the brick ball game is, it's like the original video game. You could get something like that built. Agents. Matching for collab didn't give me anything. It says 145, but I got nothing. Anyways, very interesting project. And it's saying proof of human intelligence. Cool. That is on our radar. What else we got? Tetris. And another big thing is there is airdrop potential here. They haven't outlined exactly what you have to do to earn, but you have to interact with the testnet. That seems to be pretty AI. Airdrop. Starts with an A too. Airdrop norm, right? So Tetris protocol is an intent-centric framework that streamlines complex workflows by translating user-specified transaction intent into efficient batch on-chain operation. Okay, I thought we were going to have a cool game that we could interact with, but it's not. It's the idea of Tetris, right? Putting everything in the right place, not having any gaps. That's how you win the game. Sure, everybody knows that. Any strategy settle atomically. Now, what does atomically mean? For a hot minute, I kept using the example when it came to crypto IQ, which is what this show is all about, and many other things, really. But anyways, atomically, like an atomic swap or a bridge. So a bridge uses a third party. Atomic swap, atomically, really refers to that both blockchains are already able to communicate with each other, right? So they can move your assets across them without a third party bridge. Unify on-chain and off-chain strategies into a single atomic on-chain transaction. Enable margining. I want to say migrating. No, cross margining across the entire crypto market. Basically, what you would call an atomic swap, and much more. Better capital efficiency, atomic consolidation, privacy-preserving execution. How it works. Our platform transforms your intent into optimized execution paths across multiple protocols and chains. So define the intent, some code. It says API or no code builder. I don't know, it looks like code to me. Intent declare. User declares their intent, swap 1 ETH for at least 1900 USDC. No need to specify the execution path. Man, if this thing works, it is going to be so dope. For people who haven't, man, it's clicking more and more. I mean, I've already said it, but if you've never used Web3, then you've ran into issues like this. From slippage to just flat out not being able to figure out how to get your money where you want it to do what you want to do. Man, if this thing works, it's going to be amazing. Cygini, like cyborg, I guess, capital. Cygini Labs. So is it more than just an investing, or they just put labs after everything? I mean, you have, that's the website. My goodness. Didn't even have paragraph on the page, but that makes it easy. My seal, we looked at this. Let's click on it for half a second because I remember it being pretty cool. Synchronized state machine. What is state? That should answer your question as to what this is. Boy, they have a lot of stuff that here we could read. We've already been over this, so hopefully you got this. I don't want to waste the time if you watched yesterday's live, and if you haven't watched yesterday live, that's the beginning to all of this. SpiceNet. We've been over SpiceNet. By XAN Ventures, another ventures capital. We're starting to move a little faster. Spartan, we've been over that. I thought it was odd we went through all those projects and we hadn't really seen many of the projects that we went over yesterday. So I knew they're going to start popping back up. Bravo, Eureka. Hey, thank you very much. I'm raising my own crypto IQ as well with you guys. We are a team. And of course, I'm doing the live stream, so I got to lead us a little bit, but I'm not trying to be, look at me, look how smart I am. So Knowledgeable is a team of experts who operate the secure decentralized network with local bare metal. It's a VC. Your connection is not private. Okay, well then I don't want to go there. It's just a VC anyway, so nothing we need to. Hypersphere Ventures, another VC. There are so many liquidity providers to this. I don't know how they could just fail. CMS Holdings. It's going to be more liquidity. Oh, we did go over this. Yeah, we went over that one. I remember that website. Fireblock. Did we go to their website yet? Yep, we've been here. All right. Seems like they just flipped them on us, right? So everything that was, all these were over here, and then they flipped them. Hey Elsa, crypto AI powered agent. Hey Elsa is an advanced AI assistant designed to streamline the Web3 experience through a natural language interface. Cool, let's see what the actual app looks like. It's ironic that the .ai, the AI website, wants to verify that I'm a human. I mean, it seems a little hypocritical, doesn't it? Oh, and so you could just ask this thing anything? New to crypto, you can ask me anything. And then it just kicked me out. That didn't take very long, did it? Let's connect with our MetaMask. Is this somewhere? Because another thing that's really important to say, if I haven't already said it, the airdrop potential. We gotta go through all this stuff to figure out where we can actually interact with this, right? Where can we have the best chance of actually getting... Here, I gotta put this in the Discord real quick. Sorry. There's a referral code for this if anybody's interested. We got to see where we can actually interact with the real testnet and not just look at a web page, a web 2 page. We want to be on web 3, and we want to be able to earn some of that airdrop. Thank you, Sourced and Sold. So you can ask it these questions. I'm going to ask, does using this get me airdrops? I guess from Anoma, so that we're a little more specific. All right, let's see what this does. Definitely the ChatGPT vibe. Elsa is thinking. Hopefully Elsa doesn't hurt herself trying to figure this out. It's probably going to tell me something like, I can't give you that information, or I don't know, or it's just going to completely mess up what I'm talking about. It's definitely slower than ChatGPT, I'll give it that. All right. Current price, contact, market settlement, key development, Anoma Foundation. Okay, we need potential rewards. Okay. Oh, it's going to keep going. It's not even going to let me read until it's done. It's like, you wait till I'm finished. Hopefully this has some value, but either way, it just demonstrates what this product is. So Anoma Foundation releases intent-centric architecture. Okay, yeah, we know that. I didn't need a breakdown. Testnet participation rewards clarified. Low impact. I don't know exactly what that means. On September 25th, 2025, Namada, powered by Anoma, clarified that testnet participants from recent phases may qualify for future rewards, but no active airdrops are confirmed. Okay, that seems a little different than what I had read on Twitter, but I guess that we're going to go with this is right. Community forums, no linkage to external tools or platforms to generate wallet assistance. Alpha opportunities, testnet participants for potential rewards, engage in Namada's ongoing testnet activities, active of September 4, possible full. So now I feel like it's no, okay. But there's no guarantee of airdrops, but historical show, okay. All right. I read between the lines. And that's another thing with the airdrops. It's always like there is, but maybe there isn't, and you just don't know, and they won't give you a clear answer, and then all of a sudden, people are getting airdrops. That's been the way it's been played a lot of the time. I don't know if that has to do with the SEC and things being security. Like when you tell somebody that, oh wow, this is interesting. What is this? Oh, this is my portfolio here. Thanks. I don't really care. You guys can see it. This is just what's in this wallet. Some Toshi, some Dog in Me. And then these other coins here. Toby up to $5.85. It's pretty good. It was just given to me for free, so I'll take it. I guess Toby's doing pretty good. What was I saying before that? I don't even really remember. So there's potential for an airdrop, but they're not going to give you a guarantee, because if they give you a guarantee of an airdrop, then they could be in crossfires for things like securities and stuff like that. Daily requests. And these give you EP. So why would you need experience points and stuff like this if it's not going to result in something of value? I think is a good question. $100 away, keep going. So I've got a good feeling that this is probably one of the really good places to get some motion through your wallet, because they take snapshots of the wallets who are interacting with the testnet. This seems like a very good way. And I put my referral code in the Discord if you're looking for it, if you want to hook up your MetaMask wallet and get involved and see if you can get you some airdrops. And I'll leave it at that. I'm actually going to leave that up because I might want to mess with that in a little bit. Polychain Capital. We know what Polychain Capital is. We're almost there. We're almost to the end. T+. T+ is the first decentralized brokerage. What am I looking at? Just kidding. Okay, yeah, I thought so. This website looks terrible. Okay, I feel like I just got hacked, so let's move on. Decentralized brokerage. That looked terrible. I don't know what that was, but I don't know who decided we were including those guys. We've been over that one. So Hashquark, delegated hashquark.io. So all of this hash talk, I mean, if you know what a hash graph is and Hashdara or Hedera, I don't know. Am I from one of these? Yeah, the United States. Yes. Yes. Whatever yes is. So anyways, are they using that kind of technology? HashQuark, a node validation, supported networks, all of these ones you see here. Flow. I'm actually just reading the ones that you wouldn't be familiar with. Avalabs, Tezos is old. If I'm not reading them, it's because I think you should probably know who they are. Seller, Casper, Labs, Akash. That one's relatively okay. It's got a lot of different things you can validate with, or that they validate with. So this is probably more infrastructure there. Delphi Capital, or Delphi Digital, crypto research for investors and builders. Get me in there. When are they going to throw me some money, hire me for all this crypto research? So they do crypto research, and you can pay them, or you could just come to this channel. I'm just messing around. I'm not saying I'm on par with all the people they pay. No idea what they provide. Paradigm Ventures.xyz. Seen that on all the decentralized exchanges lately. Investing in the backbone of future industries. So they are venture capitals as well. Now we're really starting to roll through this. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. BitGo, digital asset infrastructure company. Build your own financial future. I feel like we looked at this. Yeah, we did. Insifier unlocks the power of seamless, high-performance, confidential computation, creating a compliant Privacy 2.0 engine for DeFi. Send and swap assets privately. So it's a swap. It's a private swap. Okay, and it's probably built very specifically for Anoma, right? That's why it would be here. No, there was another one that was like Houdini. I know Crypto Lifer was showing it for a minute and then it went away. So I don't know. They must not be working together anymore. Any is a post-cloud communication network for independent minds, featuring independent communication channels where every change is cryptographically signed and encrypted. And they don't want to let me go there, but we don't. That's more infrastructure, and it said what it was in it. Oh, there's another venture. Cool, we're down to like the last 5 projects. ZK validator, so it's a validator using the ZK knowledge roll-ups. That is 0 proof. Will transform the world. ZK is changing the internet, and ZKV is at the forefront, supporting the most innovative projects to build more decentralized web. You see the term ZK, zero knowledge, roll-ups, proofs, whatever. You see it everywhere now. It has basically become the standard from optimistic, and then, you know, optimistic roll-ups or proofs are still used, sometimes in tandem, and sometimes they've just swapped them out for ZK altogether. We went over this. The Engine Cloud, Poetic Technologies. So when we hear the singularity is near, let us remember the polarity is already here. We're not going to do this the whole website, are we? Is everything going to be in a poem? It makes sense from Poetic Technologies, make a lot of sense, but I don't even feel like entertaining that. So Poetic Technologies Underground, or UG, I'm just playing, is a fantastic collective enterprise whose mission is to liberate the technical imagination from the bureaucrat technologies. Poetic Technology core offering includes research, development, and zero-knowledge cryptography, monetary innovations, and software supply chain security via reducible builds. Okay, moving on. At least it wasn't all in poems. I get it. It's infrastructure. Swiss DAO. Is this another It's another Swiss thing. Accelerate your Web3 journey with Swiss DAO. Do they have a product? I don't see one where I can launch an actual application here. Peer-to-peer. P2P cap. What is peer-to-peer? It's what Bitcoin was originally built on. ZK Sync connects public and private chains to a single cryptographically secured network. Exactly. It's a means of validating. Definitely needed that. All right. So this is the last one. We invest in crypto assets through owning coins, token, participating in traditional equities, fundraising, DeFi. All right. We have backed more than 90 projects. And that really concludes Blues Guy says Anoma is huge. Yeah. And shout out to Blues Guy. I think you might be the only one here, Blues Guy. So I guess me and you are going to be ahead of the forefront here. We went through a lot, right? And I think maybe some of the other people might have burned out a little bit. I don't know. But maybe somebody else is live right now. So let's go back to this and finish this up. We got to finish strong here. I don't see another day of this for anybody who's hopping in and out. Anoma is powered by the intent machine, similar to how Ethereum Virtual Machine processes transactions into state changes. The IM processes intent into state changes. The IM works seamlessly. The intent machine is what IM stands for, alongside existing virtual machines, enabling intent to be settled in an underlying chain. Decentralized counterpart discovery, solving, and settlement. Anoma provides all the infrastructure necessary for intent-centric apps. A decentralized solver network works to match intents across counterparties and settle them. On connected blockchains, developers can focus on building their apps instead of needing to integrate all their components. This is a big problem. On-demand consensus. All right, we're moving on from that. What does the future look like? Seamless, natural user interfaces. And so they're going to make it easier for things. It got a little redundant there towards the end, so I moved on. We really have covered the hell out of this project right now. I feel like we did a good job coming to almost 2.5 hours on the second day. So you're saying we've spent, what, 3.5 to 4 hours? If you don't count, the startup, the warm up, the looking at what's trending and stuff like that. We have done our due diligence, and we will be actively looking at what comes out of this project, what they post on their Twitter. Go follow me, CryptoRon, with the blue check mark face in the thumbnail on Twitter, because I will be reposting the different projects that we followed from there. I will be reposting them. And whoever's been watching, if you've been watching, what was the biggest gem out of those projects in the economy, the ecosystem of Anoma? What do you feel like the biggest gem was so far, right? I know for me, I'm thinking it's Sully Swap. If they have a token or something like that, can we type that in? Let's see if we get anything. I don't think we will. Oh, I typed in Silly Swap. That's hilarious. Might as well be giggles at that point. Okay, we get Sully, but there's no way Sully is Sully Swap. Ugh, lose these glasses. Miss Williams, thanks for hopping in. Are you just getting here? Says, nice work, guys. Appreciate that. All of a sudden, there's a large influx of people hopping in. What's up, everybody? I don't know if we got a little too technical. Everybody had to hop out and rest your brains. Yeah, this is definitely not Sully Swap. So one of the projects in the ecosystem of Anoma is called Sully Swap. I'm hoping they're going to have a coin in things when things roll out, and it'll be similar to, Pancake Swap or Pancake Coin, Uniswap, all the different swaps, right? There's one on pretty much every ecosystem, and I am really hoping that will have a coin and we'll know about it really early and we can get into it and hopefully make some gains. Let's go to newly listed coins, right? And we can separate them by category, which seems like the right thing to do because the meme coins, people make meme coins all the time. Uptober, somebody the other day said they had some Uptober. So I think the whole ecosystem in general makes it appealing. Yeah. I mean, as redundant as it is to have a bunch of liquidity providers, venture capitalists, and investment capital things, I mean, it's money, and that's going to help guarantee that they have the money to really make it happen. The vision is outstanding, in my point of view. The vision they have is awesome, and I really want to see them have a product on the market that works. All right, so these are listed in the last 30 days. Blockchain infrastructure, BitLabs, BitLight Labs, which we've gone over. Mira, we've gone over. All right, we got to look at it for a second. BitLabs is not out yet, right? Okay, they are out. $46.1 million in their market cap. Let's go to the website, and we're not done. We spent like 2.5 hours deep diving the rest of that ecosystem, and we're not done yet. So make Bitcoin smarter. Okay, so this was Bitcoin DeFi, and you see why sometimes we need to go to something several times, before we actually can just look at it and know what it is. And it has the word bit in it. I should know that this is Bitcoin DeFi. I'm marking it and categorizing it in my brain now. So connect your BitLight wallet and BNB wallet to claim light. So it's just like that. They just give you some. They have a faucet. And the faucet was over. I remember that. And it might seem crazy because faucets a lot of times don't give you a lot of the token. But there are many people who got tokens from a faucet that turned out being worth something substantial later. Maybe not millions of dollars or anything, but from free tokens to several hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, I've seen it. So I know it's possible. There was a really cool exchange that I was using for a while, and it had aggregated all of the different faucets from all over the place together, and you could just go in there and just click them all, and you would just get a very small amount, but you would just get a very small amount of all kinds of different coins. And it was really cool, and the exchange went bankrupt. I went to sign into it the other day, and it was like you couldn't do anything on there because they had gone bankrupt. Or whatever. I think they're just stealing everybody's funds, to be honest with you. But it's BS because I did not realize they were going under or whatever. It didn't send me anything, at least that I saw. And I had a couple of things on there. I had like probably $300-400 on there, some real high speculation stuff. So Sarcasm BTC says, good evening, nice price action today, hope you are well. Yeah, we're doing great. We just finished up our second day of deep diving the project Anoma. Highly recommend going back through some of that. And today has been really good. Top over to Crypto Bubbles. See what the day hasn't changed much. ZK Cash getting this pump. I don't know why it annoys me. Very transparent, I guess, about it. I could probably keep it to myself, but it annoys me that ZK Cash is running. Not at all because I feel like I should have got some. Like that's not at all why it annoys me. It annoys me because it's so old and like who cares about ZK Cash? I don't want to have to hear about ZK Cash. Great for, and I love to see everybody win. So if somebody's been holding this for a really long time and it's up a lot now, I don't know what the history is. I mean, at one point it was worth $3,191. So that was October 28, 2016. Whatever that was, if you bought during that point, you are down. You are big time down. And it's been dismal. What was the next little hype here? Like almost $500. I actually had a buddy who had a bunch of this. I don't even know when it was. It was probably back here before this spike. And I don't know what was going on in his life, but he sold it for very little gains. And then I remember like it was like 4 months later, it ran up to some crazy highs, and he would have been a multi-millionaire at that point. So ZK Cash is on Near Protocol. Is that a new thing? I don't think Near Protocol has been around that long. All right, now we got to get to the deep dive into research. Let's figure some of this out real quick. A little bit of alpha. Blues guy welcoming everybody in. Appreciate that. All right, so let's pull this up. Let's go to Near. I don't think Near's been around since 2016, so obviously this thing couldn't have been built on Near. Max chart. Yeah, 2020. So Zcash was around much longer than that. Yeah, Blues guy says I remember Zcash. Exactly. So Near has $3.6 billion in its market cap. Might as well throw that out there. So $1.9 billion in market cap for Zcash. I wonder if it's a lot of people who bought on when it was new a long time ago and they're just so underwater they're still holding and hoping, or they've just given up. I don't know. 21 million max supply, just like Bitcoin. And this thing's been out for a long time, and the full circulating supply is not even really out. But I think it's super interesting that it has a Near protocol, exclusively a Near protocol, right? So, yeah, what is it doing? We've got to go to their Twitter, huh? What are they doing as of recent to be relevant? So they're in the private money niche, like Monero or something like that. They posted 7 hours ago. The core flaw with Bitcoin, the largest likelihood for why Bitcoin would fail in the long term, is because it's not private. Okay. Honestly, that sounds like some garbage. It sounds like a garbage take by somebody who's really big and owns a lot of stuff. 21 million coins. Everybody sees my balance. 21 million coins. Nobody sees my balance. Get out of here. Zcash trying to put itself up on the same level as Bitcoin. There's no comparison. I already said hi, but I'll definitely say hi again. Hello, Miss Williams. Thank you for being here. So, that was just me checking the chat. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited about this. I want to know why it's pumping. The narrative where it's like trying to put itself on par with Bitcoin because they both have 21 million tokens. I get it's a meme, but that is stupid. And then they come over here and they start talking about the solution to Bitcoin is Zcash. They are smoking crack if they think that they are anywhere near comparable to Bitcoin. And I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I mean, I'm fully able to acknowledge that Bitcoin was first generation technology and may have some flaws for sure. Now it's digital gold. I'm cool with that. And I know a lot of maxis don't want to see, Lightning Network and all these things to their Bitcoin, right? But it's pumping today. I don't know what that's about. Probably because of the privacy. Yeah, exactly. I have read about other privacy blockchains. I think Secret was one of them, but no thanks. Yeah, Secret as a chain is Celestia, which is what? TIA? I think. Could be wrong. Has a Secret in Cosmos and Osmios, and then Secret. Let's see what happens when we type in Secret. Get me the one that has that logo. See the logo? ERC20. So this is wrapped Secret on Ethereum. But you don't see like a Secret all by itself. I mean, you see this Secret, but this Secret doesn't have the same logo. So this is obviously... Oh, but it is built on the same thing. Osmios, Mintable, Secret Network. So is this secret? Experience the future of private AI. See, I thought secret. Like, what's going on? My computer froze. I think it's the website. I thought secret was something that was built by Celestia. It's the same as BTC. They want to create coins likewise. Create a coin likewise, more features. So they just copied BTC's code, right? Is that what they did? Like Bitcoin Cash or something like that? Secret Network is the first mainnet blockchain with privacy-preserving smart contracts launched in 2020. This makes it possible to build apps that are decentralized and permissionless, yet private. I don't hate the idea of privacy coins and privacy stuff. Like, I don't buy the whole if you have nothing to hide, then there's no reason to have privacy. I don't buy that at all. I think that's stupid. The secret AI program. All right, it's very interesting. It's been around since 2020. But is it the layer 1 contract? It is a layer 1. So this is independent. And you see that TIA, which is a newer coin, it's got to be involved with them in some way, because why would they choose to allow to have a contract address that is secret? And TIA is what? Is a layer 1 itself. See, this is where it kind of gets me a little bit confused here, because if you're a layer 1 project, then you got to have your own blockchain. If you have your own blockchain, then we need to duplicate this. Let's go back. And we're doing this live. You know, we're figuring this out live together here. Secret Network is the first mainnet blockchain with privacy preserving smart contracts launched in 2020. Exactly. Yeah, Blue Sky, you're on point with that for sure. And I would say that all makes sense. The thing that doesn't make sense to me is if Celestia or TIA is a layer 1 project, then what is its blockchain? Is it secret? And if secret is its blockchain, then how is secret the blockchain of secret? Are they sharing a blockchain? Layer 1, smart contract platform. It's in the Osmosis ecosystem. So, I mean, there could be some heavy connection there. Did TIA come into the game and then just be like, okay, we'll be a layer 1, but we're going to be a layer 1 built on top of another layer 1? That doesn't make any sense, because that would make you a layer 2 project. But they do have an explorer, so obviously they do have a blockchain. Usually when you have a layer 1, the contract address for the coin itself is going to be on the layer 1. And it could be on other ones, but it's at least also on the layer 1 of the blockchain that it is. I mean, do they use secret as like an additional thing within their blockchain to make it private? Like, they didn't build a whole privacy thing, they just borrowed and integrated that technology like a partnership. So many questions here. This thing looks very technical. It's got a faucet. I gotta click on it. Receive 1 TA. All Celestial test networks. Okay, so you're not getting 1 TA, not a real TIA. You're getting a testnet TIA, which you're not going to be able to sell anywhere, right? About smart contracts. Secret Network is a decentralized network of nodes that enables secure, private transaction data sharing between participations and parties. Exactly. And I mean, that's what secret is. Definitely follow that. So, back recordings. Says, hey man, love the thumbnail cartoon version of you. Hey man, thank you. I was trying to switch it up a little bit today. I appreciate you hopping in here and saying that. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, so what is the network though? Yes, secret network blockchain. So you're telling me that secret network blockchain is the exact same blockchain as Celestia. TIA. TIA doesn't have its own blockchain. It's just secret blockchain because TIA came out in 2023 and secret has been around since 2020. So which one is it? You know what I mean? One came before the other and they have their own explorer. So if they have an explorer, then they have a blockchain. I'm probably just getting myself kind of tied up and moved around. This happens sometimes when you're deep diving and researching together here, for sure. I don't know. I don't have an answer. What I want to see is I want to go to like addresses. I want to see them all be like secret addresses. Maybe I'm just absolutely exhausted and I'm not putting this together right. That could be. It's definitely a possibility here. Forms. Is this rabbit hole worth going down right this second? I don't know. Can we ever know too much stuff and ask too many questions? Probably not. Will I probably let this go for right now? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to let this go for right now. But it's something I've wondered a lot. From the first time I saw secret as a contract address. I just wonder if it's like somehow wrapped up in this secret protocol somehow. But it is its own layer 1. But what is Celestia's layer 1 called? Can't be secret because secret was already a project. It was already out. Oh, okay. Now, we should know this because we did definitely go over modular blockchains, and Celestia was definitely one. It's the first modular blockchain network that enables anyone to easily deploy their own blockchain with minimal overhead. Celestia scales by rethinking blockchain architecture from the, ground up or something like that? Okay, I mean, that makes sense. But they still should have their own contract addresses, right? They have their own explorer. This Selenium. Rollups and L2s use Celestia as network for publishing and making transaction data available for anyone to download. Yeah, I'm probably just tired, and that's why I'm not wrapping my head around this right now. So I will revisit this tomorrow. And that was a total side salad that I did not mean to go about as I ranted about how Zcash is pumping in. I don't like it. And I don't have any good reason to not like it. I just don't. MetaDAO, probably just because it's old and I think there's better stuff out there. This ADX, another perpetual DEX. Worthless. What's the other one? Worthless and the one I actually like. Is it here too? No, it's not. Ooh, DeepBook getting a 20% pop today. Love DeepBook. Definitely own some of that. Secret also getting a 20. It's so funny that would be moving up 23% today randomly. Collector card or collector crypto or whatever is like a cards thing. That's really interesting. Zora. Origin Trail. And then top losers, anything, Bless, which has been pumping for a few days. I'm really just scanning this right this second. Anoma on the top losers of the day. Not exactly surprising. It's only down 6%. That is not crazy. And again, when it comes to Anoma, we really don't want to be drinking the Kool-Aid. Belladex, not a project I was a big fan of. We don't want to be drinking the Kool-Aid, and just because they had a cool website and they had a bunch of those pages, let's be honest, it's a possibility all of those pages are mostly made up. It's very low. I don't think that's what's going on here, but, we can't rule it out. But it does look good, but the price doesn't. So tech does not immediately equal price increase. Swarm, agent cluster and swarms on top of verified on-chain data. I was pulling this from CryptoRank, and we didn't really go over it. No-code tools for full-cycle swarm development. Swarm is very important to AI, with real utility driving a unique economy and asset for each swarm. Is the future of the user-owned autonomous digital economy. Truth Protocol, a decentralized trust layer for boundless human-AI collaboration. So this is very much going to help AI agents, right? In the era where the sheer volume of information is overwhelming, traditional verification methods, amplifying misinformation and collective hallucination, Swarm Network introduces the Truth Protocol. Well, that sounds like a horrible idea. Truth Protocol, and let's let AI run it with swarms of AI agents. Gotcha. By combining decentralized AI agent swarms, cryptographic techniques, and zero-knowledge proofs, the Truth Protocol delivers real-time verification of arbitrary data to power a robust new layer of decentralized applications. So they're like fact checkers, but AI fact checkers, AI agent fact checkers. How could that possibly go wrong? I don't know. Maybe if somebody codes it to do what they want it to do and tell you, give some time, give 10 years, and people rely on stuff like this for the truth, and they don't even think for themselves anymore, which is a problem that we see with AI for sure. We see that AI is kind of people consulting, ChatGPT over real people and stuff, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not so great. Sometimes it can give pretty wacky information on accident because it is AI and it's just code. It's more like super Google than an actual artificial intelligence, right? Because artificial intelligence implies sentient, and AI is not sentient, at least not anything that we have. Maybe something the government has. Anoma is finding its bottom, and then it's all up from there underground. Yeah, I believe that. It came out at 28 cents. It's at 11. It's been there a while, meaning Yeah, exactly. And I got in between, like 11 and a half cents or something like that. So I'm right there at the bottom with it, and I'm happy about it. What's Bitcoin doing? Is Bitcoin still pumping? Yeah. It flagged all the way to my target, and then on the 15-minute, hit the target, and then started flagging out again, touching the 21 above the 200. Love it. If you know, you know. And I got XAN up as well. XAN just now having a 200 MA. Like it just on the 15-minute anyway. Got to definitely specify time frame. Yes, I know that you guys can't see the chart. I don't want to get into all the charts on all that stuff right now. Or at all, really, because this is not a technical analysis channel. Selling sugar to the neighbors. And we've been looking at this dark side. I still haven't figured out what wallet I had connected to it. I'm bouncing around a little bit right now. If anybody has anything they want me to check out, feel free to drop it in the comments. And I'm just scrolling through the chats, man. A lot of chats. The very first chat from MJS1374 talking about Clash. He was the one who came in here the other day talking about Clash, talking about the YouTuber who started the coin and all those things. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm not real excited about it, and I think I did a pretty good job of explaining that. And then we looked at the V2 bubble maps, and he claims he only owns 5%, but there are several other wallets connected to his wallet that own more than 5%. Oh, well, not my business, right? But I'm glad he's not in here shilling that right now. Although I appreciate everybody who comes, and I mean that. It just seems like he was a little one-track mind with the whole Clash thing. and wasn't really here to hear anything else, right? So, yeah, I'm just open. I'm opening the floor to anybody who's here. Is there anything that anybody wants me to look at? I mean, don't feel like you have to run and grab something if you don't actually have something. And who are we missing? You know, we're missing, definitely missing some people tonight, right? Crypto Keep, Watchman, 24. Definitely a few names I'm used to seeing that I'm not seeing. Origin Trail or Track. What's the like really old video game? Or Oregon Trail, that's what it is. I feel like Oregon Trail, somebody needs to grab that game. I wonder if I could do that. Have AI just like grab that game and copy it since it was so simple. And then like I'll put it on some kind of blockchain somewhere and we'll bring it back to life. Because that game was fire. When you were a kid and you were like in computer class at school and they had no good games. I mean, you got to put it into perspective. But harmony of facts and creativity. We've been over this coin for sure. So Blues Guy says all kind of people. I think you mean like come into the stream? Yeah, for sure. And they're all welcome. But I would like to see people not come and chill stuff. And to be honest, I think that I'm surprised we haven't got a lot more of that. So I'm grateful either way. And we're still playing this game. And I'm still locked in around. And we're upgrading constantly. I can't even get to play the game. It's one of those ones, though, I'm like, is this an endless round of never-ending things coming at me? Because at some point, I would really like to go back to the dashboard and, like, upgrade stuff. And another upgrade. Area damage. Got a little bigger. This game is decently entertaining, honestly. I wonder if I could just sit in one spot now that I have so many upgrades. Was a little bit confused with the Anoma thing where then it was trying to tell me there weren't airdrops. And I mean, that's AI for you in a way. I mean, kind of really shows what I was talking about. Let's check out the chat. So, yeah, and give airdrops to people that play it. Those frames make me sad, LOL. I think he's talking about the game, the frames like in the game. Bring back the old classic. Yeah, people would love. I mean, you definitely could bring back some of those, the ones that are well known and people really like. You could definitely bring them back and people would definitely play it if you put it in like a crypto platform somehow, like on a blockchain. Oh, man. What about all those people? Getting a little chaotic and hectic here. I don't know if I have what I need for all of this. How to get out of here. But it's like never ending, you know? There's no empty space to the side of you or anything. So you just keep going. Maybe less people. The only thing is like, you grab this little joystick, which it feels like you should be playing this on your phone, right? But as far as I know, you probably can play it on your phone. I haven't actually tried. And yes, we're kind of winding down with some game. We spent so much time going over so many different things, right? That you almost gotta decompress a little bit. I want to give a minute for anybody to say anything they want to say, talk about anything they want to talk about, go over anything they want to go over. I feel like my son, when he used to watch tubers play video games. Oh, yeah, right? It's funny. But these are blockchain games, you know, so it's totally different. Absolutely different. Not the same at all. Just messing around. I just want this thing to end. A lot of times you'll beat the bosses and it'll end. But I feel like I'm in the never-ending round of this. I've beaten like so many bosses. Oh, there's one. Speaking of bosses. Yeah, and I mostly just wanted to see if I could get some actual airdrop or some actual like money from playing this. And I have no idea if I ever will, right? So when you beat the boss, you get the lucky chest. And it didn't end, though. I need it to end. I'm going to have all the upgrades at some point if we keep going here. And they send these random hordes of people at you. It's kind of wild. And we got another upgrade. And again, we're just winding down here. Oh, we got another boss. Oh, I'm about to start taking some damage here. All right. I got locked into that for a minute. So, what's the takeaway from the day? We went through Anoma, right? Spent 2 days deep diving Anoma. It looked great. I'm not trying to rehash out everything we already went over. Just trying to see if there's any kind of new thoughts, fresh thoughts, now that it took a second to play a video game. Sometimes that refreshes me a little bit. I think I will probably buy a little bit more of Anoma. I think that it's got longevity. It's hard to believe it would come out like this and then not do anything. Now, one thing that I think we should consider, though, is that how long is it going to take to actually go into a mainnet? Because, I mean, if we cover like the 4-year cycle, I don't know why we're like watching Swarm. Let's put it on something else, right? If we're talking about a 4-year cycle, we don't have a lot of time left. So, and it seems like they're building for the long-term product. So there's a good chance that we don't see Anoma do any kind of amazing anything till maybe even next bull market. Who knows? You know, if they deliver what they're saying they're building, and again, if they don't really do much in the next, 2-3 months, 4 months, then we're going into a bear market, and it'll be quite some time before anybody's really worried about Anoma actually delivering anything, right? So they'll have a lot of time to build. That could be a positive, right? I think it would probably be worth selling and then rebuying in the bear market at that point. So we'll watch. And who knows, it could launch a main net and come out swinging with the hype. Maybe not the tech, but also the hype. Maybe also the tech. I don't know how long they've been building that thing out for. But if they coming in, and then again, if they're coming in and they're launching their token, I mean, how far could they be off from mainnet, right? I don't know why they didn't wait until they had mainnet in order to do it. I'm glad that they didn't, because it put it on our radar and we were able to look at it. But yeah, all of that being said, and again, this token Swarm, I know I'm bouncing around. This token Swarm was a new token on CryptoRank. Sorry. So I don't know if anybody has any thoughts on that, but that's pretty much just me just trying to wrap up the Anoma thing. And we got to remember that it doesn't have to go ripping to the upside anytime soon. It could just chill where it is. It could go back to 28 cents and down to 12 cents, 11 cents for a while in range, Pulse World is an early project on BNB chain. Is it an early project? Okay, well, maybe I thought when it said early project that we were going to see like it's done a heck of a pump. That we were going to see like a lot of history on the chart with it. But it says the coin just came out, so I don't know how that would be. Pulsing. And Pulse Chain is one thing. I don't know if it's combined with that, but that's what it makes me think of. Pulsing in a new world, now live. Open the pod bay doors, Hall. Dave Bowman. Whatever that means. Very random. And I'm sure that's somebody who I'm supposed to know off top. More of a face person than a name person a lot of times. It's like celebrities. I never remember celebrities' names unless they're literally huge. Yeah, it didn't really give us a lot of context there. Let's see. They usually have like a breakdown, like a what is it. So XPL. Okay, so this is associated with XPL. Pulse World is a next-generation decentralized ecosystem on the BNB chain that unites metaverse, gaming, SocialFi, DeFi, NFTs. I did not get any of that from... Is this literally just XPL? No way, because XPL is a totally different token. It's like a copycat ticker coin or something. The project aims to solve the problem of fragmented Web3 services by offering users a holistic experience where entertainment, education, and finance are combined in a single space. Currently, the very early stage development, Pulse World Vision's future digital world. Okay. I mean, when I went to their website, all that stuff you just read, did you get any of that from their website? I sure didn't. We will go to their X as well. I mean, this was their website, Pulsing in a New World. Discover more. You got to sign in, so maybe it's just because we're not signing in. Yeah, they have 942 followers. This is not XPL. I don't know why they decided to borrow that ticker of a coin that's actually, getting a lot of recognition. Gaming just got real. Pulse World Gaming Rooms equals fun plus rewards. I mean, they might be doing something cool. I have no idea, but they have very little to no traction. Now, it could be worth knowing about. So we'll put that on the radar, but I mean, right at this very second, they don't look like they're doing much of anything. Alarms going off here. All right, guys. Well, if nobody has anything they really want to go over, then I guess we're going to wrap up the stream. And it was a good one. I want to reiterate everything that we've already said here, but it was a good stream. I enjoyed it. And we got it done, so we don't really have to deep dive it all over again tomorrow, or finish up the deep dive, I should say. So we'll pick a fresh topic tomorrow, and we'll come at it like we always do, and that'll be Thursday. And then Friday, we got GameFi. So I can sit on this Dark Star and play that the entire stream. Just kidding. By the way, that's a joke. I'm not going to do that. But, is play-to-earn gaming dead? I know it's going to come back at some point, but in what form it comes back and who wins? It's going to be GTA 6 to set the bar for true, AAA gaming, play-to-earn gaming? Is that what we're going to see? How is that going to work? Man, I need to get a magnet here. Sorry, I would end the stream, but I'm locked in here, and if I try to pause it, I'm dead. Okay, now I can get out of that. Oh, all right. 3-hour stream in the bag. Stay underground, stay crypto, learning together, raising that crypto IQ. It's been a great night. Blues Guy says, great job, Underground. I appreciate you so much, Blues Guy. Thanks for being here. Thanks to everybody. Have a good night. We'll be back with another one tomorrow. Back Record says, have a good night, bro. That's Colby, isn't it? I thought so. I thought so when I saw it the first time. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Have a good night. I didn't know you were still here. I thought you just popped in. Hopefully you understood something about what I was saying. And I'll see everybody tomorrow at 8 p.m. New York time.